failing to bend on border security.
Why is the border so broken? Because the policy choices of President Biden are not working.
South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham as Republicans demand policy change to advance the president's proposed aid package that includes more support for Israel and Ukraine.
The system is broken. We want to find real solutions. The president said yesterday he's willing to have a serious conversation about this. But where's the good faith?
White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre says not passing Ukraine aid is a gift to Russian President Putin. A now former pilot pleads not guilty to endangerment charges, accused while off duty of trying to shut down a passenger jet's engines in mid-flight. A judge approving Joseph Emerson's release from jail during today's arraignment with multiple conditions, including no contact within 30 feet of any operable aircraft. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
His request granted. 55 degrees and sunny in downtown Indianapolis. Your radar's clear. Low of 44 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:02. From one prison to another. John Havrick reports on Delphi suspect Richard Allen getting a new cell.
Allen was at the Westville Correctional Facility in LaPorte County. On Wednesday, though, he was moved more than 200 miles away to the Wabash Valley Correctional Facility in Sullivan County. Allen's prior legal team had argued that the conditions that he was dealing with in Westville were similar to that of a prisoner of war. Investigators say Allen is responsible for the deaths of Abby Williams and Libby German in Delphi back in February of 2017. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A child was hit by a car on the east side this morning just before 8 near Brookside School to 54. IMPD says the driver stayed at the scene to cooperate with police. The child is alive. They were sent to a hospital. Officers are trying to figure out how the wreck happened. A shooting at a high school in Lawrence happened as a high school basketball game was wrapping up Wednesday. Kurt Darling reports.
It was the annual rivalry game between Lawrence North and Lawrence Central. The shooting happened at LC as the game was coming to an end when a fight happened in the parking lot.
There were 2 shots fired out in the parking lot outside of the gym at the conclusion of the basketball game. Thankfully, nobody was injured as a part of those shots fired.
Lawrence Deputy Police Chief Gary Woodruff, who says when officers got there, a teenager was found inside of the school's gym with a handgun and arrested. Kurt Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The congressional budget process is a big waste of time, says Indiana Republican Congresswoman Victoria Sparks.
Do a lot of presentations and hearing, but not really looking. And number one functions was given to Congress by we the people.
As the U.S. government slips further into debt, Sparks says the people who are struggling the most are those in the middle class and those on fixed incomes. The average price you're paying for a gallon of gas in Indiana today, $2.95, says GasBuddy.com. That's below the national average of $3.17. Traffic and weather in 60 seconds. Your time is 3:04.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros. We recently saved a 50-year-old couple over $300 per month when compared to their old individual plan. We recently saved a family of 4 over $400 per month when compared to their quote on healthcare.gov. We are now entering the crazy enrollment season when our federal government will spend millions telling us that healthcare.gov is our only good option for quality health care. Whether it's called healthcare.gov, Affordable Care Act, or it's still Obamacare, don't let the federal government or their big insurance company cronies tell you that you don't have a choice. Give us a call at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. That's 317-563-0868 or rragency.org. If you don't call us, we can't help you. Quoting the great Dr. Duke Tomato, Lord, please help our cults. And as always, God bless America, or at least what's left of her.
With traffic in the 5s at 3:05, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, here's what we have. Southbound 465 on the west side. It's right around 74, and I'm looking at the INDOT jam cam, and the center right lane is blocked out at the 5. So going southbound at West 21st Street after the 74 interchange, the right center lane blocked right now with a police officer. And a semi-traffic is stop and go back to the 74 Crawfordsville interchange. Traffic sponsored by Indeed.com. You don't need a job platform. You need a hiring partner. Indeed lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from one place. Start at Indeed.com/credit. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly sunny skies today. It is going to be breezy and mild. We get up to 54 degrees. Tonight, we'll fall to about 43, so not as chilly, but still pretty breezy. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
You believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
You do this at every debate. Don't interrupt me. I didn't interrupt you. Okay? You say this. You do this. You do this at every debate. You go out on the stump and you say something. All of us see it on video. We confront you out on the debate stage. You say you didn't say it, and then you back away. And I want to say
exactly what I said, Chris.
I'm not done yet.
Well, this
now
is
look.
This is nonsense. It's not a spirit.
I'll tell you something. This is the fourth debate that you would be voted in the first 20 minutes as the most obnoxious blowhard in America. So shut up for a while.
Whoa!
Hey!
Fireworks!
Let's go!
The final GOP debate was last night. What is that pork chop Chris Christie still doing on stage? Why is he there? What is his function? Vivek Ramaswamy versus Chris Christie versus Nikki Haley versus Governor Ron DeSantis last night. And, I was in and out all night of that. And I had said the previous debate, number 3, was one of the best I've seen. But this one's getting pretty much rave reviews, is it not, Hammer?
This one was entertaining. I don't know how much actual conversation and real debate about the issues we had, but I live tweeted it last night. And if you look at the timeline, the night started with everybody going after Nikki Haley.
Yeah, because she's got the best poll numbers right now.
And she had been doing very well in the debates. But as the night went on, it kind of became Chris Christie against Vivek Ramaswamy.
Let me just say this. You know, this is the kind of thing where he talks about experience. You know, I was the U.S. attorney in New Jersey when the terrorist attacks were launched against the United States in 2001. I brought the first two cases in this country against terrorists who tried to attack us again. And I know about the threat of terrorism and bullying in this country and around the world. And at that time, he was learning about the provinces in Ukraine, sitting with his smart-ass mouth at Harvard. That's what was going on. And so the fact of the matter is, and back then he was a Democrat.
Chris Christie standing on the backs of the victims of 9/11 to try to campaign? Is there nothing more despicable? Who cares? Like, what is this guy's function? Seriously.
I tweeted something last night, and I stand by it 100%. Who watched that debate and then afterwards said, you know what? I'm going to donate to Chris Christie. I'm going to take my hard-earned money and I'm going to give it to Chris Christie. Because unless you just hate Vivek Ramaswamy and you want to reward Chris Christie for yelling at him, there's no reason for him to be on that stage. Now, not to be outdone, I want you to listen closely to this. Did Vivek Ramaswamy make a fat joke to Chris Christie?
Chris Christie also doesn't know what provinces in eastern Ukraine he actually wants us to fight for. Chris, your version of foreign policy experience was closing a bridge from New Jersey to New York. Yeah. So do everybody a favor, just walk yourself off that stage, enjoy a nice meal, and get the hell out of this race.
Was that a fat joke?
Sure, that was a fat joke. Come on. And then I saw footage on Twitter X after that, like behind the scenes of Chris Christie, like kind of giving the business to Megyn Kelly for allowing that to go on. I don't know what was said, but it was right after that comment, after the cameras were off and the commercials were going.
The only thing that would have been better is if Vivek used the word waddle and just waddle your big fat rear end off there and go get a meal. Ron DeSantis, I thought, aside from all the fireworks and stuff, Ron DeSantis had a pretty good night because he called out Nikki Haley for a lot of her bull crap. And I want you to listen closely to this. This is when DeSantis went after Nikki Haley for her tendency to bow to the political left and all the woke mobs.
You have other candidates up here like Nikki Haley. She caves anytime the left comes after her, anytime the media comes after her. I did a bill in Florida to stop the gender mutilation of minors. It's child abuse and it's wrong. She opposes that bill. She thinks it's fine and the law shouldn't get involved with it. If you're not willing to stand up for the kids, if you're not willing to stand up and say that it is wrong to mutilate these kids, then you're not going to fight for the people back home. I will fight for you and I will win for you.
Now, a couple times throughout the night, they went at Nikki Haley for that angle because she's been kind of wishy-washy about whether or not she is for minors having gender sex-changing surgery. She's kind of wavered on it.
We played that clip yesterday of her on CBS News in June saying the same thing, right?
Here's DeSantis again, basically calling out Nikki Haley for a lie that she said about him in regards to boys and girls bathrooms in Florida.
And this shows how hypocritical Ron continues to be. When he was running for governor and they asked him about that, he said he didn't think bathroom bills were a good use of his time. You can go look that up.
I signed a bathroom bill in Florida, so that's obviously not true.
So the idea that you would say that I was
signed
against
it, you
that.
didn't. You killed it, I signed it. I stood up for little girls, you didn't do it.
He called her out on a lie.
That was the easiest ever. I mean, I signed the bill. What are you talking about?
The more Nikki Haley spoke last night, I think the less likable she became. Because for the most part, these debates, the first one, everybody went at DeSantis. And then after that, it was kind of a mess. Nikki Haley, her poll numbers have been on the rise. So she was the target last night, and I don't think she did a very good job of defending her record, what she said, or fighting off some of these attacks. Vivek Ramaswamy went after Nikki Haley for her thoughts on the Israel-Hamas war and what it means to finish Hamas.
Finish them was purposefully vague in a discussion that included Iran, which is what I objected to. And I think it's, as U.S. president, you have to be responsible. What happened to Israel was dead wrong. What Hamas did was medieval. It was subhuman. It was immoral. And we have to call that out for what it is on October 7th. But to say that that was an attack on America fails a basic test. I mean, Nick, if you can't tell the difference between where Israel is and the U.S. is on a map, I can have my 3-year-old son show you the difference. That is irresponsible because it has major consequences, because that doesn't leave room for what actually is an attack on America. So I believe I have the strongest pro-Israel position actually on the stage, even though it's a little bit different than the standard GOP talking points.
So that was Vivek Ramaswamy going after Nikki Haley. But Nige, that rubbed Chris Christie the wrong way. So Chris Christie, I think he knows nobody likes him. So he thought he would try to be the hero and rescue the damsel in distress that was Nikki Haley facing these attacks from Vivek Ramaswamy. It was kind of like the ending scene of An Officer and a Gentleman. I was waiting for Chris Christie to pick up Nikki Haley, walk off the debate stage with Love Lifts Us Up Where We Belong playing in the background.
We're now 25 minutes into this debate, and he has insulted Nikki Haley's basic intelligence. Not her positions, her basic intelligence. She doesn't know regions. She wouldn't be able to find something on a map that his 3-year-old could find. Look, if you want to disagree on issues, that's fine. And Nikki and I disagree on some issues. But I'll tell you this, I've known her for 12 years, which is longer than he's even started to vote in a Republican primary. And while we disagree about some issues and we disagree about who should be president of the United States, what we don't disagree on is this is a smart, accomplished woman, and you should stop insulting her.
So I'm going to take this.
And he picks up Nikki Haley. They walk off the stage
No, they
together.
waddle. They waddle off stage. It's pretty rich for Chris Christie to tell Vivek Ramaswamy to stop picking on Nikki Haley when that's Chris Christie's main job is to troll Donald Trump.
Right.
That's your gig, and you're going to tell somebody else to stop being rude to the candidate? Give me a break.
You brought up Megyn Kelly earlier. I thought she did a pretty good job last night. She let everybody go at each other, but she didn't lose the room. But there were times where it felt like Megyn Kelly was up there just roasting dudes. Like the debate opened up with Megyn Kelly basically giving Ron DeSantis a big dose of reality.
Governor DeSantis, Your campaign and its super PAC have spent the most money, had the most high net worth donors, and had a wave of momentum coming into this race after your big re-election win in Florida. You were seen by many as the candidate most likely to consolidate the non-Trump field. But here we are, a month out from the first real votes, and you haven't managed to do it. In fact, Nikki Haley is beating you in New Hampshire and South Carolina now, and closing in on you in Iowa. Not to mention Trump, who is not only dominating in the early states, but is beating you in Florida by over 30 points. Is it fair to say, as Senator Tim Scott did when he dropped out, that voters are telling you, not no, but not now?
I mean, this is like one of those Comedy Central roasts. She's up there just grilling him right to his face.
And he's sitting there with that smile, that politician slick smile on his face, kind of the bobblehead thing that he does. And not that I don't like DeSantis. Don't get me wrong. I love him. I'd vote for him. But Megyn Kelly was kind of right. Eee.
Now, was she tougher on DeSantis or was she tougher on Chris Christie?
You even said that you got into this race just to stop President Trump. His approval rating with Republicans is currently at 81%. Yours is at 25%. Your best state is New Hampshire, and even there, 2/3 of GOP voters say they would be angry and disappointed if you won. Respectfully, Governor, you have not stopped Mr. Trump, and voters may wonder how you could possibly become the nominee of a party that does not appear to like you very much.
Megyn Kelly, my God, she reminded me at times of the guy that does the academic decathlon in Billy Madison.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
That was Megyn Kelly talking to Chris Christie and DeSantis last night. All right, Matt Baer, what are we looking at?
Stall northbound at 69 on the ramp 296th Street. It's the off-ramp, and it's open, but the left lane is blocked. Inbound 69, a little bit slow right now, 96 to 82nd. And looking at downtown, inbound 65, stop-and-go traffic, 21st to Meridian Penn. And northbound 65 in Lebanon, stop from US 52 past State Road 47. That's because of an earlier crash. Traffic sponsored by Isaacs & Isaacs. Dogfight injury? Call Isaacs & Isaacs. The law firm Indiana has trusted for over 20 years. They'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. Click and get help quick at WeWin.com. That's WeWin.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, we've got sunshine, 55 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. How about this? Caller number 9 and 10 will hook you up with some of the tickets to go see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. They're coming to the Field House on the 26th. Caller number 9 and 10 at 239-9393. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
So what's a good rate on a CD today? Something like 5%? Yeah, and that's the highest it's been in a long time. Well, you know your retirement guy, Bill Demery, could help you do way better, right? Hey, it's Hammer and Nigel. Instead of getting 5%, what if you could get a much better return? Like a return that's averaged 7% per year for the past 10 years. That's 40% better. Let me say that again, 40% better.
Plus, now check this out. You also get an immediate 13% bonus on your investment. And it's all backed by one of the largest insurers in the world. A 13% bonus and a 7% average return. You should call Bill Demery right now. 317-648-5120. 13% bonus. This won't last long. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, 648-5120. Past performance is no guarantee of future returns.
My husband, Bob, has Parkinson's, and he needs more help now, and I need more support to help him. Thanks to Indiana Pathways for Aging, we're getting the support we need to help him right here at home, like with meal prep and basic personal care, and even respite support for me.
Pathways provides Hoosier Medicaid members, age 60 and over, support for care their way, so they can live life their way. The program begins in summer of 2024. Call 87-PATHWAY-4 or visit in.gov/pathways.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Now through Saturday, it's our year-end clearance sale. Save on in-stock and special order furniture by Lazy Boy and Bassett. Up to 50% off Tempur-Pedic and Stearns & Foster floor sample mattresses. And save up to $3,000 off Smith Brothers of Bern floor samples. Hurry, sale in Saturday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus with free delivery.
Brace yourself for the ultimate holiday deal with Consumer Cellular. Snag an incredible 50% off the Iris Flip when you buy before December 17th, making it only $34.50. The Iris Flip is all the phone and camera you need with a user-friendly design, the perfect flip phone companion. Plus, you'll get nationwide coverage and always free activation. Score 50% off when you use promo code RADIO50. Head over to consumercellular.com and use promo code RADIO50 during checkout to score this deal.
Reggie was a nurse for 16 years.
I had become very burnt out. I wasn't making good money.
Then it happened.
There was an ad for My Computer Career, and it just spoke to me.
My Computer Career was the best decision he ever made.
I could study anywhere from my laptop, and I was working in the first couple weeks of me being in class.
Reggie hit a home run.
The field is teeming with jobs.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
The school is amazing.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Fall in Indy, and if you hate to paint, do what your neighbor Edwina did. She called Rhino Shield.
Over the years, I had to touch up the house. I just got to the point where I couldn't spend any more money on the outside of the house. And when I saw Rhino Shield, I thought that was the answer to my problem.
And Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating, better than paint.
I had painters here before, and it was usually quite a disaster with them leaving their equipment here. But Rhino Shield was right on it.
Our 25% off special is now extended through December. Plus, receive a free game console just by having Rhino Shield applied by spring of 2024.
The gentleman said, if you're interested, give me a call. And I said, honestly, can you come tomorrow?
Remember, you have until the end of December to receive 25% off. Plus, get your job done by spring of 2024 and receive a free game console. Restrictions apply. Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Are your health insurance premiums making you sick? George and Megan at yourcoverage.net can help. George and Megan have helped countless individuals and families save 30 to 60% on health insurance with superior coverage. George recently saved a family of four $800 a month with the Aetna Network $0 deductible and $0 doctor office copay plan. This is not a government-sponsored health insurance plan. So if you're uninsured, recently lost your job, on COBRA, or are paying extremely high rates for Obamacare or your work coverage, George and Megan will help you if you meet the flexible guidelines for health insurance. Yourcoverage.net will provide you the best coverage at the lowest rate. Their goal is to give you peace of mind and the utmost in healthcare. Go to yourcoverage.net and see for yourself, or better yet, call George and Megan at 1-800-491-5500. That's 1-800-491-5500. Or go to yourcoverage.net. That's yourcoverage.net, a premium personalized healthcare plan managed and designed by you, not the government.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. Tomorrow we will be live broadcasting at Sullivan's 3 to 7, the 93 WIBC Radiothon presented by B Window and the Phone Bank presented by Peterman Brothers. Always a good time, always a humbling experience, Hammer. 36-hour live broadcast from Sullivan Hardware and Gardens and North Keystone right over there.
And all the money that we raise and bring in stays here in Central Indy. So you are helping Hoosier families in need, families that have nowhere to go, nothing to eat. We've each done tours of the Salvation Army, and humbling is the word. So if you've been blessed in any way this year and you can spare a little bit, you can call tomorrow. All the shows are going to be broadcasting live and raising money. But if you want to get a head start, we've got these virtual kettles posted online. I've got a link on our Facebook and Twitter.
You know, the red kettles, the famous Salvation Army red kettles, right? But these are virtual. We're not out on the sidewalk this time.
So you can donate anytime now until tomorrow. You can pick my virtual bucket or Nigel's. It really doesn't matter. Your donation's being matched. Mine is being matched by Indy Decorative Concrete. They're matching donations up to $500. So get those donations in.
And then all my donations matched up to $1,000 from Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They did an incredible job on my garage. And boy, look at Denny Smith. Denny Smith has raised like $3,700 in his digital kettle.
Well, I think he's running a Ponzi scheme over with that Home and Garden show.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I've talked to Allison about this. I think there's some shady bookkeeping going on over there.
I would not be surprised.
So we're going to try to bring somebody a good Christmas. That's our goal tomorrow, helping out some Hoosier families. And if you need to get into the Christmas spirit, no better way to do that than with the First Lady of WIBC, the lovely Terry Stacy.
Christmas is no time to be singing. Holiday Memories with Terry Stacy.
The best way to stay warm during the holidays is to put a live weasel down the front of your underwear.
And this has been Holiday Memories with Terry Stacy.
Good advice. Sage advice.
I'm not sure I agree with that.
A couple reasons to drink tonight, Nige.
I always need one.
Number one, Hanukkah begins at sunset.
Okay.
So for those that celebrate Hanukkah, enjoy it. Now, remember, it can be spelled two different ways. Hanukkah.
Sometimes they throw a C at the beginning.
Right. And that's what confused Smokey Robinson on Cameo. The iconic Motown singer is available for Cameo messages. And somebody sent him a message to read about Hanukkah, and it was spelled with the CH.
Hey, Marco. How you doing? Surprise, surprise. This is Smokey Robinson. I know you didn't expect to hear from me. But
surprise.
I was contacted by your sons, Jeff and Jared. And they told me that you used to live in Detroit across the street from me. And gosh, that's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
How you doing again? Nice talking to you
so
again,
awkward.
I guess. But anyway, you're living in Vancouver now. That's beautiful. And they wanted me to wish you happy Chanukah. I have no idea what Chanukah is, but happy Chanukah because they said so. Anyway, God bless you, babe, and enjoy Chanukah. Have a wonderful time.
So Chanukah begins at sunset tonight, Nige.
Said it 3 times. It's classic.
What do we got coming up next?
A couple of special guests in studio, Hall of Fame broadcaster his Major League pitcher son, Mark Patrick and Drew Storen, live in studio. I saw Mark Patrick post on Facebook. He was at Debbie Knox's retirement party. I go, dude, you're not leaving Indiana without coming by and stopping by the Hammer and Nigel show. We got a Hall of Famer and a Major League Baseball pitcher in next. I'm not anticipating any problems this winter with my HVAC, especially because I'm an American Standard customer. American Standard, they are built to a higher standard. I have an American Standard unit installed, and I use American Standard providers. Here's a Hammer telling us about one of those awesome local American Standard dealers.
How about Family Heating and Air, the Morris family and their staff, ready to help you out as the cold air makes its way through central Indy. You could call Rachel, Marcus, or Malia today to make sure that furnace is running safe and ready for the winter season. Family Heating and Air always encourages you to call them for a free second opinion. And even if you got another quote from another company and it doesn't look right, Family will give you a free second opinion because nobody takes care of you like Family. 577-8077. Family Heating and Air. 317-577-8077. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard.
Are your health insurance premiums making you sick? George and Megan at yourcoverage.net can help. George and Megan have helped countless individuals and families save 30 to 60% on health insurance with superior coverage. George recently saved a family of 4 $800 a month with the Aetna Network $0 deductible and $0 doctor office copay plan. This is not a government-sponsored health insurance plan. So if you're uninsured, recently lost your job, on COBRA, or are paying extremely high rates for Obamacare or your work coverage, George and Megan will help you if you meet the flexible guidelines for health insurance. Yourcoverage.net will provide you the best coverage at the lowest rate. Their goal is to give you peace of mind and the utmost in healthcare. Go to yourcoverage.net and see for yourself, or better yet, call George and Megan at 1-800-491-5500. That's 1-800-491-5500. Or go to yourcoverage.net. That's yourcoverage.net, a premium personalized healthcare plan managed and designed by you, not the government.
Brace yourself for the ultimate holiday deal with Consumer Cellular. Snag an incredible 50% off the Iris Flip when you buy before December 17th, making it only $34.50. The Iris Flip is all the phone and camera you need with a user-friendly design, the perfect flip phone companion. Plus, you'll get nationwide coverage and always free activation. Score 50% off when you use promo code RADIO50. Head over to consumercellular.com and use promo code RADIO50 during checkout to score this deal.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They were in the hospital. 55 degrees, sunny in downtown Indianapolis. You've got a clear radar. Low temps down to the mid-40s tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:31. Someone hit a child with their car this morning on the east side of Indianapolis. John Herrick reports on what police know so far.
It happened just before 8 o'clock, not far from a school. IMPD says the driver didn't go anywhere after the collision and has stayed around to answer their questions. The child is alive and was taken to a hospital. Now they're trying to figure out what caused the crash. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Delphi murder suspect Richard Allen had been asking to be moved to a new prison, and his request was granted Wednesday. Allen claimed he was being abused by the guards at the Westville Correctional Facility and compared his treatment to that of a prisoner of war. He's now in the Wabash Valley Correctional Facility in Sullivan County, a 200-mile move. Allen's trial isn't supposed to start until October next year. 3 people died yesterday, another critically hurt after a shooting at UNLV. The suspect started shooting at the campus's business school and was shot by detectives inside the building.
Our thoughts are with those who survived this incident and are undoubtedly traumatized by this horrific event.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, Vegas police say the suspect was a professor who didn't get a job he applied for at the school. A motive on the shooting's not been confirmed. Congress cares too much about presentations and not enough about cutting into the national debt, says Indiana Congresswoman Victoria Spartz.
And how much debt has to be refinanced in the next few years at this interest rate and slowdown in the economy, we'll reach soon the point where half of our spending will go on interest, just interest on debt.
She told the U.S. House of Representatives Committee on the Budget this week that the country is headed towards financial catastrophe if it doesn't get the national debt under control. The Indiana Pacers play the Milwaukee Bucks in Vegas today. Winner advances to the in-season tournament final.
We'll have to be ready. We're trying to play the role of a disruptor here against a lot of these great players. We have to be really good at trying to implement our game as opposed to allowing them play theirs.
Head coach Rick Carlisle, tip-off at 5. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:33.
Denise has been playing jazz for 40 years. Last concert, one of the musicians fell sick with RSV. Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is a highly contagious virus that can lead to breathing problems. This time, she's choosing to help protect herself with Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo. Abrysvo is a vaccine for the prevention of lower respiratory tract disease caused by respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, in adults 60 years of age and older. Abrysvo is not for everyone and may not protect all who receive the vaccine. Don't get Abrysvo if you've had a severe allergic reaction to its ingredients. People with a weakened immune system may have a decreased response to Abrysvo. The most common side effects are tiredness, headache, pain at the injection site, and muscle pain. Ask your pharmacist or doctor about Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo, respiratory syncytial virus vaccine. For full prescribing information, please call 1-844-989-7284 or visit abrysvo.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
With traffic at 3:34, here's Matt Bear.
Southside Harrison, a vehicle rolled. It's inverted Sumner Avenue at East Street. That area is fouled up at the moment. Please avoid. One of the cars are off on the shoulder of Sumner, so please be careful. Looking at northbound 69 going to Fishers at a stall on the off-ramp 296th Street. That ramp is open. 146th Street in Carmel shut down between River Avenue and Ellisonville Road. That's because of a cut gas line. Should be reopened by the end of evening rush. And Lebanon northbound 65 stop from US 52 up to the Lebanon rest area and just a little bit beyond. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Whether you choose a mined or lab-grown diamond, let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be that symbol that says I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly sunny skies today. It is going to be breezy and mild. We get up to 54 degrees. Tonight, we'll fall to about 43, so not as chilly, but still pretty breezy. I'm Wish TV Storm Tracking meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
They should have been fired a long time ago.
I think we got a show.
Oh, yeah, we got a show.
We definitely got a show.
Oh, yeah!
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. A couple of special in-studio guests. Iconic sports broadcaster, Hall of Famer Mark Patrick, and his son, Major League Baseball pitcher Drew Storen, friend of the show. Drew's been in several times with us. Mark, I think the only time you've done a show with us was on that podcast a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
You drove us downtown in your big yellow beast of a truck.
Right, because you sent the limo for everybody else. And then you texted me and said, "Hey, what time can you pick me up?" Okay.
Well, I knew that you didn't. I knew that you didn't drink, so I figured, well, I got a sober driver for the night.
Oh, limo guy doesn't stay sober.
I never used the
I'm
limo.
shocked at the story of Nigel doing something half-assed. I can't believe that. That's shocking. It's not like, that happens all the time.
It happens every day. It happens every day. Well, congratulations, Mark, on your induction into the Indiana Broadcasters Hall of Fame. I can imagine what that means to you and Drew, watching your dad get inducted like that. Can you just talk a little bit about it? And boy, what a class, too. Mark Boyle, voice of the Pacers, the late Robin Miller. It was quite a class, right?
And what was cool is earlier this year, Drew was inducted into the Indiana High School Baseball Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
I don't want to brag, but I had a .184 batting average in high school, Drew. So I think I may or may not have been able to turn on your fastball.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, I mean, you did it a couple times.
That's one of my favorite things in life. I think I could hit those guys.
Weren't you right?
I couldn't play catch with Drew.
Wait, hold on. Don't you and Rob Kendall talk about this sometimes? Like, if you practiced for like 6 weeks, could you hit? What's
more likely to happen? Like, could you play on special teams in the NFL for one day and survive, or hit a Major League Baseball if you had like a week's worth? What's the first thing likely to happen? And I said playing special teams.
Well, yeah, you can run from guys on special teams.
Right.
Like you could, if you were on a kickoff, you could run the opposite direction.
Right. Rob was trying to tell me if he just squared up the bunt,
no,
even if he closed his eyes,
he's
and
got
just tried to make
idea.
contact.
Drew, no.
Yeah.
You'd hit him, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Please tell me you'd hit Rob Kendall.
Oh yeah, you'd have to do a John Kruk there out of the gate, and then it would be forever ruined. Buzz the tower, and there's no chance. But yeah, it's certainly way, way, way harder, and even harder than that than it looks on TV.
But
I couldn't catch him at 15.
Really?
Yeah.
You'd be out in the front yard or the backyard, the Storen residence.
You're squatting on the bucket.
It's like okay, this is over.
When did you know you had it, Drew? I mean, when did you know? When did it click? Was there a moment when it said, oh, "Okay, this is it"?
No, I kind of just had my head down in the sand. I was really just trying to walk on and play at Purdue, and then that next summer, some bigger school coaches started talking to me. I'm going, okay, I might have a chance to go somewhere, and then I go to Stanford. I'm like, okay, this is great. I got drafted out of high school. But I knew that still doesn't mean anything, right? So go to Stanford and I'm like, okay, maybe I can position myself to get a nice signing bonus and get my foot in the door there, and did that.
Yeah.
And just, I try to take it a step at a time, understand that long game of it, right? Like if you get caught up, you got to have the right trajectory, but at the same time, just, take it a day at a time. Every cliche that we say in interviews is there for a reason.
Right. But your high school team had other dudes that made it to the show. So, like, I kind of get it. Like, where if you don't know how good you are, but you're surrounded by other dudes that are also as good as you.
It's crazy. And, I told Dad this, and I tell everybody this now that I'm on the dad side of things. It's incredible to think about that I ever made it. Just because you see how long of a journey that it takes and how many kids are doing it, not to mention around the world.
Right.
And then to think 3 guys from Brownsburg that all played together.
That's a squad.
Yeah,
you guys had a squad.
Yeah, so it's pretty insane to think about. But to your point, like if you don't know any better and you just keep playing and they, until they tell you to take the jersey off, then sometimes it works out.
Where was your favorite place to play? Like was there anything good about Toronto? You know what I mean?
Toronto was really cool as a city.
Yeah.
My performance wasn't that great, so I didn't love the city for that reason. But it was a cool place. Like it was much bigger, and it was much different than any city I'd ever really been to before. I would say DC was my favorite place to play, just because we were kind of like
passionate fan base.
Yeah, well, we were kind of like the Colts when I first got there. So people came to our games initially in 2010 when I got called up to watch the other team, and then by the time I left, we were getting 40,000 a night. So we became we were the second team all along, and then we became everybody's favorite team no matter what. It was awesome.
I can say this because I am a fan, but is Wrigley Field a dump?
From a player's perspective, it is so much fun to be out there on the field.
Yes.
But yeah, the visitors clubhouse is obviously the last thing they renovated, so I never saw that. And it is pretty tight quarters, so you have guys eating right behind you when you're changing completely naked, so you got to be careful. And there's always a bunch of people in the clubhouse there, so it's always jammed in there. But yeah, it's really when you're pitching there, it's so neat because it is like a movie where it's just the hitter and the catcher and everybody illuminated, and the fans everybody's dark. So it's kind of cool.
Hey, Mark. Back to you. Back to Mark Patrick, the iconic sports broadcaster.
I was catching a nap.
Come on. Oh. That's so mean.
That's a power dad move right there.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame. Does it, big deal, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was that like? What did that mean to you?
Well, what was cool is to be in the same company as the people I idolized when I was growing up, When you think, maybe I can do that, and so many of them are at a level that you never really think you can reach. Don Fisher, for example.
Sure.
And for him to be there that night, that was everything.
And you've got a chance to do so many different cool things. You've done, national radio, sports on television. You hosted a game show. I mean, you ran the gamut of everything here. When you look back on it, you raised, a great family. You got a major leaguer. When you look back on everything, do you ever think, man, my life has been pretty crazy?
No.
None.
No. I think it's like anything else. You always think there's something more. It's like, I got that, but I think I could have done this or I could have done that.
Because I hear McAfee all the time say, I can't believe I lived this crazy life. I've done this and I've done that. And I look at your resume, and again, I'm a broadcast nerd. This is what I've always wanted to do. And I'm like, man, this guy's done it all.
Yeah.
And you got the grandbabies now. You're
yeah,
grandpa,
well, that's
right?
Yeah, that's tough to beat.
What you always like. I look at Drew's career, and I think, man, there's couldn't be any more pressure on earth than being a major league reliever and some of the games you pitched. I've watched a bunch of them, man, and it doesn't look easy. But man, your dad, Drew, Mark, you made broadcasting look so. And I know it wasn't the case. You were so smooth and such a quality broadcaster. It looked so natural and easy to you, whether it was Wish TV or Who's Your Millionaire or even the characters and stuff you called in on Bob and Tom. It just seemed easy to you. Am I wrong about that? Because this is hard for me right now. I'm having this job to me is hard.
Yeah.
Mostly because I grew up playing records.
This sounds weird, but there were moments, especially in when you have your own talk radio show, that it was the most painful thing I ever had to do.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
I feel you then.
Yeah, because if you're coming up on a segment and you got no callers, and you
got to fill,
you're like, I never was of the opinion that anybody cared about what I had to say. So I was always somebody that, at least in that format, I wanted guests because I figured I want to talk to the guy that knows more about the Colts than I do.
Absolutely.
I want to talk to the woman who covers the Pacers on a daily basis. I want to find out from an IU beat writer what's going on down there because I can't be there at practice like they are.
But there's still the flip side of that coin, though, that your fans want to know what you think, too. And that's what you do.
See, I don't know.
Because you have fans. Yeah, that's the thing. People, they were Mark Patrick fans.
I'm sorry, I don't follow what you're saying.
Well, you were saying that nobody cares what I think. And I don't think you understand how many people were Mark Patrick fans.
Well, maybe. But I just, I always felt like letting somebody else, I always believed in the Johnny Carson way.
Let other guys be funny.
And I always thought that when I was on with Bob and Tom, and more so when I was competing against Bob and Tom, I would always have people go, "Hey, did you hear Bob and Tom today?" Well, I don't know if you noticed, but I have a little morning show at the same time. And these would be people that I was working with.
Right.
Would come in and go, "Hey," into the studio and say, "Hey, did you hear Bob and Tom today?" No, we got a little show here. But generally what would follow was something that was hilarious from the show, but it was rarely Bob or Tom.
Yes. The
because they were gifted in using everyone. And not necessarily comedians, but they were really from the Johnny Carson school of, whoever was on Carson, the next day people would say, "Did you see Johnny Carson last night?"
Love that philosophy.
It could have been Burt Reynolds, it could have been anybody, but they saw it as Johnny Carson. And I really tried to follow that philosophy.
Can we take a little time out here and bring you guys back? Because I want to ask Drew about the Field of Dreams bourbon. We had you in studio a couple months back during the summertime when it was here in Indy, and I want to see how the business model is growing a little bit. Can we do that?
Absolutely.
All right, coming right back, we got Mark Patrick, we got Drew Storen. We're live on the YouTube stream. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
So a sudden job relocation with a hard start date had Cindy and George in Indianapolis scrambling to get their house sold fast. They heard about Mark Dietel on our show. The only real estate agent I trust to sell my home, right? They launched an intense marketing plan. They got multiple offers that they sold for the price they needed in plenty of time to move with money in their pocket for their next home, all because of Mark Dietel.
There's only one agent that we trust and recommend, and that's Mark Dietel. Because Mark Dietel, he has the guarantee in place. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. If you don't believe us, call him. Talk to Mark Dietel yourself, 317-755-4232, or go to markdietel.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com. Tell him Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Hey, this is Pastor Micah Beckwith from Life Church. The greatest season of the year is upon us. Christmas is here. We're decorating the trees. We are stuffing the stockings. Hey, if you aren't planning a worship experience this Christmas season, I would really encourage you to make that part of your tradition. If you need a place to worship and celebrate the birth of our Savior, come to Life Church. We'd love to celebrate with you. Check out our service times and locations at lifechurchin.com.
If you think quality healthcare is out of reach for your small business, you have more options than you think. Jim Shoemaker can develop a customized plan that makes coverage for your team a reality. Jim understands the challenges of small businesses and can help you save hundreds every month, just like he did for Duvall & Son Garage.
We began working with Jim Shoemaker. He helped secure a great health insurance plan for our company and save us a lot of money.
Call or text today, 317-409-3963. Jim Shoemaker is a MedMutual insurance broker.
Fraley Implement is your go-to Indiana Massey Ferguson dealer. They're located just southeast of Indianapolis in Rushville. Right now, Fraley Implement is offering exceptional incentives like 0% interest rates, cash bonuses, and free delivery within 50 miles. If you're in the market for a Massey Ferguson, chances are Fraley Implement has it. And if they don't, they'll find it for you. Stop by Fraley Implement and see what a family-owned dealership can help you with today. Learn more at FraleyImplement.com.
Fall in Indy, and if you hate to paint, do what your neighbor Edwina did. She called Rhino Shield.
Over the years, I've had to touch up the house. I just got to the point where I couldn't spend any more money on the outside of the house. And when I saw Rhino Shield, I thought that was the answer to my problem.
And Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating, better than paint.
I've had painters here before, and it was usually quite a disaster with them leaving their equipment here. But Rhino Shield was right on it.
Our 25% off special is now extended through December. Plus, receive a free game console just by having Rhino Shield applied by spring of 2024.
The gentleman said, if you're interested, give me a call. And I said, honestly, can you come tomorrow?
Remember, you have until the end of December to receive 25% off. Plus, get your job done by spring of 2024 and receive a free game console. Restrictions apply. Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Go Rhino!
Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Express the heartwarming message of Christmas this year and give her a diamond engagement ring from Pierce Jewelers that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
I'd rather be folding laundry.
This is gonna be fun.
Said no one ever. Also, no one enjoys wasting time in traffic. That's why we love saving you time. Matt Baird Traffic.
Backups are already starting.
On 93 WIBC.
Matt Bear's got to look at the roads.
All right, Hammer, northbound 65 is stopped right now before Raymond Street up to the south split, and we are keeping an eye on that. Northbound 37 also jammed up right now, 3769 from Epler Avenue up to 465. Coming into downtown, southbound 65, stop and go 21st to Meridian Penn. Watch out, east side, Sumner at South East Street, a two-vehicle crash. One is inverted and one pulled off onto the side of Sumner. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Show your true love and spoil her with that one special Christmas gift from Pierce Jewelers that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
56 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. It's the Hammer and Nigel show. I'm Jason Hammer. Big Nige is here.
Hello.
Hall of Fame broadcaster Mark Patrick is here. And Major League Baseball player and entrepreneur Drew Storen is here. How's the Field of Dreams going along?
Amazing. Thanks to you guys. I really appreciate you guys having me on to help launch this thing. We were just at Bourbon Fest the other day and had a ton of people. You guys were probably the league leader, and heard John Hammer and Nigel.
Oh, right
so
on.
I appreciate that.
So this is the bourbon company that you own, the product where the wheat and the barley and the corn and all that stuff comes from the Field of Dreams.
Yeah, we just take the corn so far. But yeah, we say it's the most famous corn in the world. So we take that and tell authentic baseball stories. Our first bottle release was 22,860 bottles, one bottle for every guy that's ever made to the major leagues. And we've sold all those into distribution. There's a handful left on shelves. And then actually your best chance to get it will be this weekend, Payless event at their East Street store. I'll be there signing some of those as well. But that is probably the last big batch until next year.
And you volunteered to give us a little something to help out, some Hoosiers in need. We're raising money for the Salvation Army tomorrow, and you're going to kick in one of these special bottles.
Yeah, so what we've done, we've sold every bottle, including my own player number bottle, 19,736, into distribution, except for 1 through 100. So we are giving those towards charitable causes, including we're giving 4 bottles to the Negro League Museum, 542, 10, and 14, and then we'll auction those off to benefit. So I thought with what you guys are doing tomorrow, I'll give bottle number 93, and you can give it to the biggest donor.
That's awesome. And I've had the bourbon. I'm not just saying this to blow smoke up your backside because you're here. It's really good.
Thank you.
Like, we know, what bad booze tastes like because that's usually all we drank when we were growing up. But that is so good, man.
Thank you.
And the thing is, I was talking to your dad, Mark Patrick is here, and Mark has never taken a sip of alcohol in his life. And I'm like, did you even try it? Did you even try your son's whiskey? He's like, what's the point? Like I know. Isn't that what
I could drink it and say, this is the greatest drink I've ever had. And it would be true.
Right.
But, on the other hand,
What's next, Drew?
So our plan, since, people fell in love with the player number idea, we're going to run our player 2 batch next year around opening day. So it'll be 23,115 bottles since 255 guys were added to rosters this year. And then we're also going to do some small batch releases. So we're going to take the proof up a little bit more on that. Do some kind of fun ones that tell different stories on top of just our player number 1.
How much work? Like, what's your work day like? It feels like there's a lot of stuff going on here.
There's a ton of moving parts to this. Luckily, we have a small team, but we got good firepower. So I roll in, I'm about there 9 to 3 to 4, about every day, just sorting through all kinds of things. I try to lean as much as I can into the creative side because that's where my strength is. So luckily we have a great ops guy, and like I said, I like making the fun stuff.
Right before Mark Patrick, by the way, inducted into the Broadcast Hall of Fame, you mentioned Don Fisher, longtime voice of the Indiana Hoosiers. We're going to be talking to him.
Now, he's coming up at 4:30.
4:30, right. Before we get out of here, can you give us one of your famous, because I remember asking Fish one time on the air, I go, who does the best impression? Who does the best Fish impression without hesitation? Mark Patrick. I was wondering maybe if you could give us a little Fish.
No.
Okay.
But
All right, Mark Drew, thank you for joining us here on the Hammer and Nigel Show. Fantastic dynamite finish.
I'm just serious. No, I thought if somebody wanted to hear a particular voice, if they would request it and give us a donation for tomorrow. Okay, because both of you are trying to raise money for the Salvation Army.
Correct.
So if you want to do that, I'll do a couple requests and you can make some money for tomorrow for the Salvation Army.
All right.
Does that sound reasonable?
I think so. We got to hit a break here.
Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
If it doesn't work, I'll just write a check.
Okay. He'd rather write a check than do his Don Fisher impression for us?
I think so.
How you doing?
That's all I needed right there.
That gets him through the night, Mark.
Just being able to say Nigel Laskowski reminds me of John Laskowski and the 1976 Osier team that went undefeated. Of course, it was just magic in the air in Wilmington, Indiana, especially when the Osiers played the Iowa Hawkeyes.
There it is.
Well done. Well done.
Bravo. Man.
Just don't pronounce the H's.
Thank you. Okay, that's how you do it. Mark Patrick and Drew Storn. Thank you guys so much
Back to my
for coming
fashionable northeast side kind of.
You guys are the best. Thank you. God bless you guys. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. Big Nige.
Yeah, did you hear Bill Demery, our retirement guy, helping Indy residents add an instant 13% bonus on top? That's on top of their retirement savings.
So for every $100 you get, that's an extra $13 more.
Yeah, and it adds up. So you could get $13,000 for every $100,000.
I like bonuses. Bonuses are good.
Yeah, it is, and and then you get an extremely competitive return year after year. I mean, over the last 10 years, it's been 7% consistently, backed by one of the world's largest insurance companies.
And this is why Bill Demery is our retirement guy, and he should be your retirement guy. If our listeners want that 13% bonus, what do they do?
It's really easy. Just call Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. It's not going to last long, so keep that in mind. 317-648-5120. 648-5120.
Past performance is no guarantee of future returns.
What's on your Christmas list this year? Is it endless soft and hot water? Pat Sullivan here. Luckily, my friends at Hope Plumbing are offering an amazing special during the holiday season. A free water softener with the purchase of a tankless water heater. Already have a water softener? No problem. Hope will give you $1,000 off a new tankless water heater. Be the most liked family member and give the gift of endless soft and hot water this holiday season. Call Hope Plumbing, 641-HOPE.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been a local, family-owned and operated business for nearly 50 years and helps keep Central Indiana's economy strong by employing over 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis stands by their products and services while they share and embrace our conservative values. So when you have garage door problems, call them today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis, 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
You only have one heart, so let's keep it near everyone it beats for. Franciscan Health is leading the way as the only hospital in Indiana to be recognized as one of HealthGrade's 100 best hospitals for cardiac care and coronary intervention in 2024. We're delivering award-winning heart care in your neighborhood, near everyone you love, because our greatest reward is caring for you. Learn more about our compassionate, patient-focused approach to heart care. Visit us at franciscanhealth.org/heartcare.
Your local news coming up after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis.
Investigation into the learning environments at Harvard, UPenn, and MIT after those university presidents testified this week at a House hearing on anti-Semitism.
Presidents came to Capitol Hill to defend themselves against accusations that they were not doing enough to defend their Jewish students, but ultimately got themselves into more trouble after university presidents from UPenn and Harvard were asked if calling for the genocide of Jews violated their code of conduct. They said it depends on the context.
Fox Business's Hillary Vaughn on Capitol Hill. All three presidents have since issued statements clarifying they do condemn anti-Semitism and calls for violence. North Carolina Congresswoman Virginia Foxx, who chairs the Education and Workforce Committee, says they will probe policies and disciplinary procedures and will issue subpoenas if needed. It's the first night of Hanukkah, but also 2 months to the day since the Hamas terror attack on Israel as fighting continues in Gaza.
Israeli military pushing hard against pockets of Hamas resistance, and especially in the south, believed to be the home base for the terrorists. Taking its toll, though, 90 Israeli soldiers said to have been killed. Also, the fighting taking its toll on civilians. Supposed safe areas reportedly hit by Israeli airstrikes in the south. Israel claiming the areas were used by Hamas to fire rockets.
Fox's Greg Palcott in southern Israel. The White House says talks aimed at freeing more hostages are ongoing, but that they're not close to a deal for another humanitarian pause. A retired police chief is sentenced to more than 11 years in prison for charges stemming from the Capitol riot, including conspiracy to obstruct Congress. 59-year-old Alan Hostetter was sentenced by the same federal judge who convicted him of 4 felonies in a bench trial. Stocks finish higher. The Dow up 63 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He's got a new cell. Sunny, 55 degrees downtown. Your radar is clear. Low of 44 predicted for tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. The Delphi murder suspect has moved from one prison to another. John Havrick reports.
Court documents say Richard Allen was moved on Wednesday from the Westville Correctional Facility in LaPorte County to the Wabash Valley Correctional Facility in Sullivan County. Those facilities are more than 200 miles away from one another. Allen's prior attorneys had first requested back in April of this year that he be moved to a new prison because he was being kept in conditions that they felt were similar to that of a prisoner of war. Allen's accused of killing Abby Williams and Libby German in Delphi in 2017. His trial is not supposed to start until October of next year. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A shooting with a vehicle that flipped over. That's what IMPD says happened on the northwest side around 2 o'clock this afternoon. They found 2 people shot on Lafayette Road, not far from Eagle Creek Park. Both are in stable condition. Police are trying to figure out what led to the shooting. The Indianapolis City County Council voted to charge a new fee paid by downtown residential and property owners. Leaders say it will generate revenue to pay for street cleaning and public safety around the central business district.
And that really works well in areas with high density, with high foot traffic.
Taylor Schaefer, the CEO of Downtown Indy Incorporated, tells Wish TV the fee will show up on the 2025 property tax bill. The congressional budget process is a big waste of time, says Indiana Republican Congresswoman Victoria Sparks.
We do a lot of presentations and hearing, but not really looking. And number one functions was given to Congress by we the people.
As the U.S. government slips further into debt, Sparks says the people struggling the most are those in the middle class and those on fixed incomes. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Hey, it's Rob. I started losing hair around my crown and my hairline was starting to recede. I went to We Grow Hair Indy and they helped grow my hair back. My friend Dave First, a sports broadcaster for over 20 years, also struggled with hair loss. Dave, what happened?
My thinning hair was bothering me. For me, I'm in the public eye. I'm a dad also, and I want to look and feel my best. And if I'm going to do something about my hair, I want to go with the best. We Grow Hair Indy. They really set the standard.
Dave, that's amazing. I had the same procedure, multi-unit hair grafting transplants, which gives you more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Call 317-522-2995 for your free hair and scalp evaluation. Find out if hair transplants or PRP is right for you.
If you're thinking about this, don't waste your time or money. Go to the experts.
Call 317-522-2995, 522-2995, or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com, the gold standard for hair restoration.
With traffic on the 5s at 4:05. How's it going, Matt Bear?
Harrison, we have some problems out there. Northbound 65 on the south side. It is a crash before the south split. Car versus semi. Left lane blocked and traffic jammed. And back to South Keystone Avenue. Delay time right now is at 17 minutes. And also on the south side, vehicle rolled. It's at Sumner and East Street. And multiple vehicles involved. One's over on Sumner right now. I would stay clear for the time being. South side, eastbound 465, stop and go traffic from 70 over to the White River. And Lebanon northbound 65, still stop and go traffic from US 52 past State Road 47. Traffic sponsored by Arizona State University. With ASU Online, you get everything the nation's most innovative university has to offer. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu. That's asuonline.asu.edu. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly sunny skies today. It's going to be breezy and mild. We'll get up to 54 degrees. Tonight, we'll fall to about 43, so not as chilly, but still pretty breezy. I'm Wish TV Storm Tracking meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show. You all right, Nige?
Oh, man, I just, you know what? I did like a Jerry Springer headfirst dive for my readers who were completely across the room. My readers were completely across the room. We had Mark Patrick and his son Drew Storen in here. And so I was in a different spot, and I had all my stuff over there.
How was your sight, by the way? Because I've noticed on the days where normally I do the rundown, the template of the show, right? And I print it off. The days where you do it, the font is substantially larger. It's like a Joe Biden teleprompter when Nigel does the template for the show.
Also in all caps, too.
Yeah, a lot of all caps.
Bold font.
And you know what? It's funny. My wife is 5 years younger than I am, and she's starting to come to the dark side when it comes to readers.
Uh-oh.
She's like helping my son. She was helping. I was gone, and she was helping my son put together some Lego stuff or something, and I walked in. She had my readers on. I mean, she usually wears contacts and stuff, but now she's welcome to the dark side. Once you go readers, you never go back.
Coming up here in just a second, we got a nice little feud on Fox and Friends this morning. We'll get to that. Quick update here. The Delphi murder suspect, Richard Allen, has been moved to the Wabash Valley Correctional Facility. So he is no longer at the Westville Correctional Facility in LaPorte County.
Does that surprise you? I mean, everybody was pretty adamant about keeping him in that facility. I mean, there wasn't much leeway at all, especially when talking about the judge. Now he's fine where he's at.
A lot of moving parts in this story, including Richard Allen himself, going to be more than 200 miles away from the Wabash Correctional Facility that he was at. The place that he's going to, south of Terre Haute in Sullivan County. So look where the murders happened, up at Delphi. Look where he was being held at, which is just north of Carlisle at the Wabash Valley Correctional Facility. And now he's all the way down 200 miles away at this new correctional facility. That's a lot of stuff going on.
Hey, look, as long as they keep him alive so he can go through a fair trial, they've got a little time to prepare here, just under a year. I mean, we need this guy in good health. For a while there, it looks like he wasn't doing too well. Or at least that's the way his defense made it look.
Normally, I'm the first one to say I like it when bad guys die. But the thing is, there's a lot of people, we're not sure if this is the guy. And if it is the guy, he needs to be alive to go through a trial. It has to be right.
Yeah.
Everything's got to be on the up and up. Sounds like they're going to be broadcasting this Delphi trial whenever it does happen. This family, the families of Abby and Libby, they deserve everything to be perfect in this trial. If he's the guy, lock him up. If he's not the guy, let him go and let's find who is. A lot of stuff still going on here. All right, Allison, we got a feud going on, so I need a little feud music. We had a little friendly fire this morning on Fox and Friends, Nige.
Was it really friendly fire, though?
No, I don't think it was.
Because I don't think these two groups like each other. I don't think Vivek Ramaswamy particularly likes Fox News, and I know he definitely doesn't like Brian Kilmeade.
What I know Brian Kilmeade likes is your tax dollars going to Ukraine.
Yes.
He loves it. Can't get enough of it. He sleeps in Ukraine pajamas every night. He is one of the card-carrying members of Keep Funding This War in Ukraine. Vivek Ramaswamy, on the other hand, he is calling for a peace deal that would end this whole thing and give portions of Ukraine to Russia, and the whole war comes to an end. So, Vivek Ramaswamy, Brian Kilmeade kind of got into it this morning on Fox.
This war doesn't advance U.S. interests.
Yes,
the
it does.
Russia-China
If you give
alliance
up
is the
Eastern
top
Europe,
threat that
if you
we
give
face.
up Eastern Europe, we'll be in a world war.
If I may ask you a question,
Right.
you asked a question, I want to make sure I
I'm just
answer
going to answer you.
I'll give
It is in our interest.
Detailed contours of a deal. I think it is not in our interest to strengthen the Russia-China alliance, and I think our policy right now is driving Russia further into China's arms.
It's going to be done anyway. You cannot keep Russia from China.
I think Russia is going... I think the answer is we are driving Russia into China's hands. There are kinks in the armor of that relationship. Look at Russia sending weapons to India and to Vietnam after other meetings they've had. This is our opportunity. Nixon did this in 1972, and Brian, respectfully, people like you said the same thing, that Nixon couldn't do it.
So Brian Kilmeade, you can tell when Vivek's talking about how this is not a war that the United States should be funding, he kind of starts clenching his jaw a little bit. His face turns a little bit red. Take a listen to a little bit more.
Are you comfortable giving up Eastern Europe? Because you know they're already taking Moldova, already making moves on the Baltic already. They're taking more and more pieces of Georgia. And all we've done is sit there and send blankets and MREs, and we got an invasion. So what is going to be next?
Because we have no idea how Ukraine has spent $200 billion of our money. We're forking over more taxpayer money.
Do you see how they fight? These guys are the best fighters in the world.
And I'm not going to stand for that.
Ukrainians are probably the best fighters in the world.
Ukraine is not some democracy.
Ukraine is fighting for their sovereignty, and they were invaded. They were invaded.
Ukraine has actually assassinated a former presidential candidate from 2019.
It just makes you sound so naive.
Media doesn't like to report that.
So naive. You give up Ukraine, and then in a few years you'll be criticizing Joe Biden for giving up Ukraine.
Respectfully, I think that if I called Nikki Haley naive, you guys would be having a conniption. Let's be honest about that. But you want to call me naive? I actually understand what the heck I'm talking about here.
Really?
Nixon did this in 72.
Brian Kilmeade's ready to fight him. Like, he is ready to throw down. Like, listen, I understand you can have different points of view, but listen how fired up and demonstrative Brian Kilmeade is here.
And did I hear Brian Kilmeade say, are you ready to give up Eastern Europe? Is that what he thinks is ultimately going to happen here in the future?
Brian Kilmeade is one of these guys that feels like Putin's going to take Ukraine, but he's not going to stop there. He's going to go into Poland. He's going to go over here. He's going to do this and that. And we have to keep funding and funding because, in Brian Kilmeade's words, the Ukrainians are the best fighters in the world. Now, here's how this whole thing came to an end. This is a little bit longer of a clip. It's 90 seconds here, but I think it's important to play this in its entirety.
And what happened?
American interests.
I think World War II is your better example.
I think it is offensive.
World War II is your better example. One is a diplomatic approach and one is an active war.
Germany. If you could have split up Japan and Germany, then I do think that you actually have a good example of World War II.
You were going to convince Hitler not to go with a fascist nation?
And I'm not talking about convincing anybody, Brian, but the fact of the matter is I think it is offensive that people would sooner use $200 billion of our resources to protect some other nation's foreign border that's not a democracy, when in fact we're not even doing that effectively.
You can do both. It's not either or.
We're doing neither.
It's neither. It's not either or.
And that's the fact of the matter. And I think this neocon wisdom needs to be relegated to the
forget neocon wisdom. No one buys into that. Just give up Eastern Europe. Just give up Eastern Europe. Why not?
And Afghanistan, look at those results. The same people that took it to Iraq and Afghanistan are trying to do this again in Ukraine, and it's already been a disaster. Time for the neocons to admit it.
Not one soldier is there. Not one American soldier is there.
Something they have done. Well, Lloyd Austin just threatened earlier this week that we are going to send our troops unless we pass that aid package, actually. So, Brian, you mark my words. Listen to Lloyd Austin, who's advancing the same policies as Nikki Haley.
He's saying he's going to send troops if they move to a NATO nation, not to Ukraine. Pay attention.
He expressly said that it's going to require sending troops if we don't actually pass.
We have to go.
I don't want troops anywhere at all over there. I don't care whether it's a NATO nation. You heard Joe Biden earlier today or yesterday say, look, eventually we might see American boots fighting, American soldiers fighting Russian soldiers. I don't know if that was a huge gaffe or not. I don't know if, it's going to be one of those things that they walk it back, but I don't want to see any of that crap.
Brian Kilmeade legitimately had his feelings hurt by Vivek Ramaswamy. And the fact that wherever Vivek was at, it was some, room this morning in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
And they were applauding.
They were applauding for him and not Brian Kilmeade. Allison, real quick, let's do some booze news.
You set him up and I'll knock him back, Lloyd. 1 by 1.
We are gonna read booze news, cause it's really fun.
Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
Nigel presents
Booze news, booze news.
Yeah.
Time for booze news. Would Mrs. Hammer let you put this in your house, Hammer? A Miller High Life neon 3D bar light, which has been infused with the scent of tobacco to bring the nostalgic smell of a dive bar into your home.
I'm trying to figure out the best way to say no.
This is a real thing. I'm looking at it right here. Miller High Life. Every bar has those 3D neons and stuff like that.
Right.
I used to have a bunch hanging up in my garage when I was in my 20s and 30s.
The Adam Sandler movie where they have the live nudes sign at the kids' room.
Right.
Big Daddy.
But they have, they want to make your home smell like a dive bar. So it's this Merry Highlight. Again, one of those 3D neon bar lights that you'd see at a dive bar. But it's been infused with the scent of tobacco to bring back the nostalgic smell of a dive bar into your home. I think you could do that for free by just, start smoking.
You could, right.
Turn on a lamp and light a Marlboro, and there you go.
Who likes the smell of that, though? I understand you can like going to dive bars because you like the atmosphere, you like the staff, but who wants to go into their bathroom and go, oh, yeah, that smells like cheap beer and Marlboros. Who wants to take a big whiff of that? All right, let's give away some more tickets, shall we? The Trans-Siberian Orchestra, they're coming to Gamebridge Fieldhouse, December 26th. Caller number 9 and 10. Got a couple of them for you. 239-9393. 239-9393. Good luck to you, Matt Bear.
Rolled vehicle on the south side. Sumner Avenue at East Street, a vehicle is inverted. Also northbound 65 on the south side. Crash moved to the right shoulder after Raymond Street. Traffic backed up to Raymond. Eastbound 70 stop and go to downtown from Belmont to Meridian, Illinois. Inbound 65 slows MLK to Meridian Penn, and southbound 69 stop and go traffic from 96 down to 82nd. Traffic sponsored by Arizona State University. With ASU Online, you get everything the nation's most innovative university has to offer. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu. That's asuonline.asu.edu. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Man, we have got an all-star cast coming up for you. Coming up here in about 15 minutes, Fish. Don Fisher, the iconic voice of the Indiana Hoosiers. We'll talk to Fish. He's also an Indiana Broadcast Hall of Famer.
Yeah, and how awesome was if you missed it, we had Mark Patrick in here earlier, he's in the Indiana Broadcast Hall of Fame. I had to basically beg him to do his Don Fisher impression at the end of the interview. It was unbelievable. You got to go back to the podcast and listen to that.
And then at 5 o'clock, 5:05 precisely, Riley Gaines from Outkick. She has an amazing podcast there, Girls on Gaines podcast. Check that out. We're going to talk to Riley Gaines. We got Rob Kendall coming up right now, 56 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. And we've got Is This Anything next.
If you're over 50, Absolute Wealth Management LLC is offering a special deal to kickstart your financial journey in 2024. You can have your 2023 tax return prepared and filed, including Schedules A, B, and D, for just $79.95. Call us now at 317-288-0634. That's 317-288-0634, or visit AbsoluteWealthManagementLLC.com. Investment advisory services offered through Gradient Advisors LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Gradient Advisors LLC and its advisors do not render tax, legal, or accounting advice.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-593-4411. 800-593-4411. 800-593-4411.
Denise has been playing jazz for 40 years. Last concert, one of the musicians fell sick with RSV. Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is a highly contagious virus that can lead to breathing problems. This time, she's choosing to help protect herself with Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo. Abrysvo is a vaccine for the prevention of lower respiratory tract disease caused by respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, in adults 60 years of age and older. Abrysvo is not for everyone and may not protect all who receive the vaccine. Don't get Abrysvo if you've had a severe allergic reaction to its ingredients. People with a weakened immune system may have a decreased response to Abrysvo. The most common side effects are tiredness, headache, pain at the injection site, and muscle pain. Ask your pharmacist or doctor about Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo, respiratory syncytial virus vaccine. For full prescribing information, please call 1-844-989-7284 or visit abrysvo.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Lord said rent could be cheaper if we were friends with benefits. You know, I'd heard of sexual harassment in the workplace, but at home?
That is housing discrimination based on sex.
I'm legally blind. A landlord recently said that he didn't think I'd be able to take care of an apartment on my own and refused to rent to me.
That is also housing discrimination based on disability.
A real estate agent said that we'd be more comfortable living in a different neighborhood with people like us. Luckily, we know our rights. It's illegal to steer prospective homeowners away from or to certain neighborhoods based on race or national origin.
If you think you've been discriminated against because of your sex, disability, national origin, race, color, religion, or familial status, call the HUD hotline, 1-800-669-9777, or go to hud.gov/fair housing. Fair housing is your right. Use it. A public service message from HUD in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
Times, it's easy to lose sight of the importance of saving for the future. The National Foundation for Credit Counseling wants you to know there are simple steps to set aside dollars each month. The most important is reviewing all your monthly expenses and establishing a household budget. Need help getting started? Speak with a certified credit counselor who can help map out a plan for you. Call the NFCC at 800-388-2227. This has been a public service message from the NFCC.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Yeah, Hammer, how do we play? Is this anything?
I'll run a story by you. You tell us if it's anything. It's pretty simple. Is this anything? A Kentucky family's Christmas tree came with a little extra surprise, an owl that was living in the middle of it.
Ow!
The owl was found when a carpet cleaner performed a job and saw it sitting in there. Here's the homeowner and the carpet cleaner talking about finding a big freaking owl in their Christmas tree.
I was so stunned. I have 3 dogs. We use this room nonstop. No indication.
The owl was literally sitting on a lower limb here. It crawled up into the tree further. It took me several minutes to even find it.
I would have left the house. The owl could have stayed without me. I wasn't coming home.
Everybody's going to be able to have a Merry Christmas now.
I would literally be Clark Griswold's dad if I saw an owl in our Christmas tree. Owl! I mean, that's but honestly, I'd rather it be an owl hammer than a squirrel. Like a little rabid squirrel running bat crap crazy all over your house.
They're quick, they're smaller.
Owls seem, I don't know, I could be wrong, they seem pretty docile. And they said they were able to get it out of the house on their own.
Right. You could probably open up the front door and get the owl to go out. If anything, maybe you could try to grab it because it's larger and get it to go out.
I would like to, if it was a friendly owl and it'd let me pet it, I would like to try to twist its head all the way around. Don't owls' heads do that?
I believe they do.
Don't they?
Do they go all the way around? Because I don't want you to kill the owl.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they go they can twist Allison. I mean, come on. That's what owls are known for.
They do that. I don't know if they want to be forced to do that. But.
Oh, like you know everything. I'm going to start calling you Allison.
Hey-o!
Allison over here.
You sit on that one.
On the fly, the expert on owls twisting their head all around against their will.
Type it in Google, Allison, and we'll go on to the next story, please.
Remember Larry King used to have like a talk show on CNN? He used to look like an owl.
He did, yeah.
Is this anything?
Or some sort of vulture.
Right.
I think vulture might be a better term with the hunched over shoulders.
A video's gone viral of a woman feeding chickens in her yard, and then she was shocked when they all stopped moving. They just froze in place for a couple of minutes like Mitch McConnell. Here she is in a clip explaining everything.
Hello, chickies. You ready for some grubs? Let's go. What the? Why are they all not moving? Chickens. What is happening right now? Chickens.
There's like 10 of them that are just standing still.
Not moving? Did I do something? Y'all were looking for an explanation as to why the chickens did what they did. Chicken owners were like, yeah, this is the thing. If they see a predator in the sky, there was a hawk that was above them that has unfortunately been the same bird that has dwindled our flock from 10 to 5.
Yeah.
So, of course, if you saw your sister getting chopped up by the same person and you see him on the street, you're going to freeze with fear.
Our friend of the show, Dylan, played offensive line for the Indianapolis Colts, lives out on a farm and has chickens, and they do the same thing. They freeze up once they see a predator. He's lost countless chickens.
I never knew that was a thing.
Yeah.
So maybe Mitch McConnell saw somebody scary. He saw Chuck Schumer out in the crowd, and he just froze up all of a sudden.
Although I just don't know if it's a very good philosophy for a chicken to stand. I would be running if I saw a predator. I would go to the chicken coop and hide.
Right. They literally run with their heads cut off, but when they see something scary, they stand there like goons. Allison, do we have any chicken updates?
Owl updates.
Yes. An owl can turn their head 270 degrees in either direction.
So not a full 360. So Nigel would have killed it.
I would have snapped his neck if I... God. Okay. All right, now I know. If I ever have an owl in my house and I am petting it, just don't turn that head all the way around 360.
Damn, Nigel, you scary. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
No more joint pain. It's not necessary to live another year in pain. Call QC Kinetics right now and make 2024 the year you are back to living a normal life again. Tony Katz here, and QC Kinetics can give you your life back. They're the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. All natural treatments that can repair and restore damaged tissue, giving you pain-free movement. QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients around the country. People who had knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, who were able to get lasting relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no no downtime. Make the call right now so you can get the most out of 2024. Got pain from that old injury? Pain from arthritis? Get back to doing what you love. Make that pain go away. And don't forget, you can use your HSA and FSA funds. Get your free consultation with QC Kinetics. 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN. QC Kinetics in Eagle Creek, in Greenwood, and now in Carmel, all with Saturday appointments available. QC Kinetics, 317-559-PAIN. Tony Katz here, and if you know me, you know I like my bourbon, and just like you, I like a good deal. So let me tell you about Hotel Tango Bourbon. Hotel Tango is a distillery right here in Indianapolis, started by Travis Barnes, a Marine who served 3 tours in Iraq. He wanted to craft spirits with the same discipline he learned in the Marine Corps. That's what Hotel Tango does. I've tried his bourbon. It's wonderful. It's a 4-grain bourbon with a distinct mash bill. You get a little caramel and some of that aroma. You get a nice rye kick to balance it out. I'm not the only one who thinks it's good. Wine Enthusiast gave it a 94, and it won a gold at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. It's also under $40. Did I mention that? One of the 10 best bourbons under $40, according to Wine Enthusiast. Try it for yourself. Head down to wherever you buy fine spirits and try Hotel Tango for yourself. You'll be supporting local, supporting veterans, and getting yourself a great, sippable, enjoyable bourbon at a great price. Thanks to Hotel Tango for sponsoring the show. Hotel Tango, distilled with discipline. HotelTangoDistillery.com.
Fraley Implement is your go-to Indiana Massey Ferguson dealer. They're located just southeast of Indianapolis in Rushville. Right now, Fraley Implement is offering exceptional incentives like 0% interest rates, cash bonuses, and free delivery within 50 miles. If you're in the market for a Massey Ferguson, chances are Fraley Implement has it. And if they don't, they'll find it for you. Stop by Fraley Implement and see what a family-owned dealership can help you with today. Learn more at FraleyImplement.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
His request granted. 56 degrees and sunny at the Circle All Cleveland radar low of 44 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:31. Delphi murder suspect Richard Allen had been saying he needed to be moved to a new prison. That happened Wednesday. John Havrick reports.
Among other things, Allen argued that he was being abused by the guards at Westville Correctional Facility in LaPorte County. On Wednesday, he was moved from there to the Wabash Valley Correctional Facility in Sullivan County. That's more than 200 miles away. Allen's accused of killing Abby Williams and Libby German in Delphi back in 2017, and his trial is not supposed to start until this upcoming October. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Senate Republicans say President Biden is AWOL when it comes to securing the southern border.
Joe Biden has been asleep at the wheel when it comes to the border. You need to wake up, Mr. President, before we get hit.
South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham says the president's policies are to blame for illegal migrant crossings into the country. He says Democrats will have to make significant border policy changes if they want to pass Biden's funding request for Ukraine and Israel. A response from the White House.
Republicans need to act in good faith and show that they're serious, and they're not. They're blocking the president's request for funding. That's what they're doing.
Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, she asked Congress to quickly pass Biden's supplemental package while she talked to reporters this afternoon. The Indianapolis City County Council has approved a new fee to be paid by downtown residential and property owners. Ryan Hedrick explains.
There is strong opposition to this new tax, but there are also proponents who say that it will generate revenue to pay for street cleaning and public safety around the central business districts.
And that really works well in areas with high density, with high foot traffic.
Taylor Schaefer, the CEO of Downtown Indy, tells Wish TV the fee will appear on the 2025 property tax bill. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The closing bell report brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management. The Dow rose by 62 to 36,117. The Nasdaq up today by 193 to 14,339, and the S&P 500 up by 36 to 4,585. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:33.
At Absolute Wealth Management, LLC, we understand that your retirement and taxes are inseparable. And if you're over 50, we're offering a special deal to kickstart your financial journey in 2024. You can have your 2023 tax return prepared and filed, including Schedules A, B, and D, for just $79.95. This can be the start of a lifelong, profitable partnership with Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. All our retirement planning clients will continue to receive the substantial discount for tax filing and preparation as part of our ongoing retirement marathon that focuses on protecting protecting everything you've worked so hard to build while still providing growth to help elevate your lifestyle in retirement. Take absolute control of your retirement. Call us now at 317-288-0634, 317-288-0634, or visit AbsoluteWealthManagementLLC.com. Investment advisory services offered through Gradient Advisors LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Gradient Advisors LLC and its advisors do not render tax, legal, or accounting advice.
The traffic at 434. Here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, on the south side, we are stopped on southbound, eastbound 465 from I-70 over to the White River, and northbound 37 jams as it comes up from Evler Avenue to 465. It's heavier, the construction zone. Coming into downtown, eastbound 70 stop and go from Holt Road to the south split, and inbound 65 also jammed up before MLK to the north split on the northwest side, northbound 465 stop and go traffic 86th Street up to 865. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Whether you choose a mined or lab-grown diamond, let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be that symbol that says I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart. Shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
A warmer and breezy night under partly cloudy skies is ahead with lows in the low to mid 40s. And Friday, we're going to boost into the mid to upper 50s with increasing clouds, wind gusts up to 25 to 35 miles per hour. A few showers possible late Friday night. On Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Steve Indiana for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show. My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a special guest on the hotline.
The longtime and iconic voice of the Indiana Hoosiers is Don Fisher. Fish, man, how you doing? It's been a little while. How's things going?
Well, things are going pretty well. Obviously, the basketball team is doing well, and we've got a new football coach, so all is good.
Yeah, I want to talk about the football coach here in just a second because I thought that was awesome the other night when he was introduced to that crowd at the Maryland game. We'll get to that in just a second, but good news, bad news here, I guess. The bad news, Indiana's not shooting the ball really well, but the good news is 2-0 in Big Ten play so far.
Well, they are, and when you look at it, they are actually shooting the ball pretty well. It's just the three-point shots not going down all that easily at this juncture. And they're not taking that many, but they are actually hitting 50% of their shots as a team through the first 8 games of the season. That's actually really good. And they're getting a lot of that play from their frontline guys. And certainly Khalil Ware has made himself a presence on this ball club at 7 foot, coming in here averaging 17 points a ball game at this juncture. Malik Renew is probably the most improved player on this ball club from a year ago. Averaging almost 15 a game. And the freshman, Mackenzie Mbaku, started a little bit slow. He's starting to come around as well. And they're getting good play from some of the players off the bench, several of them, in fact. And with Xavier Johnson out right now and Gabe Cup's taking over, they haven't missed a beat defensively. Gabe hasn't given them a lot offensively at this point, but he's just a freshman, and I think he will.
Normally, our station, WIBC, is the home of IU sports. We've got the Salvation Army Radiothon going on this Saturday, so our friends at the Fan, 107.5, they're going to have the game, Auburn and the Hoosiers. Big win on the road at Michigan. And look, I don't care what people say about Michigan. Maybe they're up, maybe they're down. You went on the road in the Big Ten, Fish. You got to feel good about that.
Absolutely. To get a win on the road and your first attempt to do so in Big Ten play this year, huge. And, of course, they beat Maryland at home. Both those teams are retooling a little bit, even though they've got some starters back from a year ago. But the truth of the matter is almost everybody in the Big Ten is retooling a lot, with the exception of Purdue, perhaps Michigan State, although they've got some new faces as well. But honestly, with the transfer portal now and how things are shaping up in that regard, everybody every year is going to have to take a little bit of a process going forward and kind of get a chemistry built up with the new guys that are on your ball club, because those guys are becoming factors. And it's the same scenario for Indiana. And the good news is the guys that they picked up in the portal from in Indiana have really played pretty doggone well.
From your perspective, have these guys gotten better as the year's gone on so far?
Yes, they've made strides. That's the thing that impresses me most, guys. At this juncture of the season, you want to see guys stepping up the ladder in each ball game a little bit with their performances, and we're seeing that right now. Look at C.J. Gunn. He hadn't done much up to this point in the season. He comes in the Michigan game. He hits 2 big threes. He gets 4 steals. He was terrific on defense. Those are big pluses for this basketball team when you can get a guy that hasn't played a lot of minutes in his career at Indiana, and all of a sudden he starts to pop up and becomes a factor. So there's no doubt. Right now they're just making progress. There's still lots of things to work on. They're still not as good as they need to be in a number of areas. But as Mike Woodson has said, it's a process. It takes time. And right now they're making a step upward almost every ball game that they play.
Don Fisher is our guest, voice of the Indiana Hoosiers. All right, let's get into Coach Sig. Coach Signetti comes to Indiana from James Madison, takes that program, makes them a top 25 program. They hosted a college game day this past year, and he comes to Indiana, and he's not shy. Fish. He's telling the crowd all the things they want to hear. I'm not scared of anybody. Purdue sucks. Ohio State sucks. Michigan sucks. I'm here for it. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm here for it.
Well, I just laughed out loud.
I can imagine.
during that timeout when he said that. It was absolutely phenomenal. Of course, it brought the roof down. The fans went absolutely bonkers. It was a tremendous. I mean, usually you're going to hear from a coach, we're going to build this thing. We're going to do all these. He didn't say any of that stuff. He just came out there and said, I'm not taking a backseat to anybody. And then he went on with his little rant on the Purdue and Michigan and Ohio State. So I loved it to death. I love his confidence. I think the guy has a tremendous ability as a football coach to win. 13 seasons as a head coach, never had a losing year. In fact, he had 2 seasons that were 6-5, and he was really ticked about it. So it tells you that this guy believes in the process that he has put forth in his coaching abilities, and every place he's been a winner almost instantly. So from that perspective alone, you've got to feel good about it. Whether he can translate that into Big Ten play and in the Indiana football, which has the tradition-less performances over the years, we will have to wait and see on that. But I know he is hard at work. He is nonstop. He's already working guys in the transfer portal. He's already trying to keep the guys that have announced for the portal from going someplace if he thinks that they're going to be keys to his football program. So, and of course, he's recruiting his freshmen as well. So it is a process that he has to go through, and right now he is going 110 miles an hour and doing just exactly those things.
And I think the fan base, they love this because they want Indiana football to matter. They want somebody to step up and say, you know what, we're not going to be, the doormats anymore. We're going to talk the talk. We're going to walk the walk. At least he's talking the talk right now. We'll find out about the walk later on. But I think if you're an IU football fan, you just want a little something, some sort of juice into that program. And look at us. Here we are. It's basketball season. We're 2 Big Ten games in to Mike Woodson's team run through the Big Ten, and we're talking IU football.
Yeah, exactly. He's the talk of the town right now from an Indiana University standpoint. There's no question about it. He's got tremendous energy. He's got a proven record, and I think people are going to start believing in him very quickly because having never had a losing season, he's not going to settle for anything less in this first year at Indiana. So I think we're going to see something special out of this guy. I really do.
This Saturday, the IU basketball Hoosiers, they're taking on Auburn, 2 o'clock tip-off. That game is on 107.5 The Fan. Fish, before we go here, we got about 30 seconds left. Do we know anything about this Auburn squad?
Well, they're coached by Bruce Pearl, who's had nothing but success in every place he's been as a coach. As everybody knows, he has been one of those guys that he talks the talk too.
Yes,
and believe
he does.
Me, he's walked the walk, So he's going to be fun to play against those guys. We've never played a team that's been coached by Bruce Pearl. And he's been at Auburn now. This is his 10th season. Indiana's only played Auburn one other time in history, and that was in 1987. in the second game of the NCAA tournament that was played at the Hoosier Dome when Steve Alford led his team to the national championship that year. And Indiana beat them soundly there. But, of course, they're playing on a neutral floor. Even though it's a neutral floor, I guarantee it's going to be filled with Auburn fans because they will be in Atlanta, Georgia. It's not that far from where they live.
Fish, have a great call, and looking forward to the game. You are the best in the business, my friend, and we appreciate you taking the time.
That's nice of you to say. I appreciate it, and good luck to you guys, too, and have a happy holiday.
Coming up next, the finals of Biden Madness. All the festivities, all the pre-gaming, and the matchup. It's coming up next on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Thompson Furniture and Mattress got the huge year-end clearance sale going on right now. We're talking Lazy Boy. We're talking Bassett. We're talking 50% off Tempur-Pedic and Stearns & Foster mattresses. How about this? $3,000 off Smith Brothers of Bern floor samples. Some of the most sought-after Indiana-made furniture, only available at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Free delivery and setup.
Thompson Furniture and Mattress, owned and operated by the same family since 1927. Located in Columbus, these guys support what we do here at the Hammer and Nigel Show. So if you need an awesome Tempur-Pedic mattress or maybe a sectional, love seat, whatever it is, Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Free delivery and setup. If you live within 75 miles of their store, tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Winter may seem like a strange time to replace the windows in your house, but with Window Nation, today is the perfect time. And right now, Window Nation is offering you 50% off all window styles. Plus, you could even get 0% interest for 5 years. With new energy-efficient windows from Window Nation, you'll start saving money instantly on your heating bills and get rid of those annoying cold drafts that are letting your heat out. And in the summer, they'll keep that cool AC in, so you'll save money all year long.
Plus, Window Nation's professional installation means your windows will fit right in your home, treated with care. And with 50% off all style of windows and 0 interest for 5 years, it's time to give Window Nation a look today. Let Window Nation show you all the options to fit your needs and your budget. All you got to do is call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com to get started. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
We're the Hellsberg Wedding Band, and this is for the lovers out there. Ooh, gonna propose riding on a horse, wearing a tuxedo, shirtless of course. That Hellsberg diamond will dazzle her eye, and she'll say yes. Well, then she'll cry. Now put your shirt back on, guy. For over 100 years, Hellsberg has been customizing engagement rings of the highest quality. Plus, with Hellsberg's transparent pricing, you know you're getting the best price. Find her ring at a Hellsberg store near you or at Hellsberg.com.
B&W Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, your independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, is sponsoring the Matt Bear Salvation Army Radiothon virtual kettle this week on WIBC.com. B&W will match your donation up to $500 if you give by 6 a.m. Friday. Go to WIBC.com, look for the Salvation Army Radiothon, and click on the Matt Bear link. Thanks to B&W Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical, your trusted independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer serving Central Indiana.
Sundown Gardens and Miss Sims are matching up to $2,000 in donations you make this week to the Salvation Army Radiothon on WIBC.com. Click the Denny Smith link by 6 a.m. on Friday to donate.
Pierce Jewelers has a spectacular array of diamond earrings, diamond pendants, diamond rings, and diamond bracelets. They shop the world to bring you the very best. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Matt Bear has a look at the roads.
All right, Hammer, this is a crash. 96th Street at I-69. It's in the intersection at eastbound at 96th Street, backed up to Masters Road. And a crash 75th at Allisonville Road. Allisonville Road jammed in both directions from 75th. Northbound at 465, stop and go traffic from 86th Street up to 865. Eastbound 70 slow to downtown from Holt. And on the southwest side, southbound 465 loaded up from Sam Jones to the White River. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Whether you choose a mined or lab-grown diamond, let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be that symbol that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart. Shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
54 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
There we go. Biden madness, Hammer. I'll let you drive the boat on this one, man. This was your idea. This is your baby. This is pretty much you being inspired by the NBA and their in-season playoffs that they're having, and the Pacers doing quite well in the in the in-season playoffs.
So what we've got today is the culmination of greatness. We had a little in-season tournament. We do this thing called Biden Madness from time to time. We've done it the last 2 years in March, where we take silly sound bites from Joe Biden, make them compete against each other, and the listeners vote for the most ridiculous one to move on to the next round. Since this was an abbreviated, small in-season tournament, we did Biden versus Kamala. Joe Biden's 4 clips, the 2 defending champions from Biden Madness, and 2 new clips against Kamala Harris. Well, Joe Biden swept Kamala's sorry ass right out of the first round.
It wasn't even close.
Joe Biden won every single matchup, and today the number 1 seed takes on the number 2 seed. This is kind of like in that SEC championship game. You had Alabama and Georgia. Everybody knew those were the best 2 teams. The Big Ten regular season finale, Michigan, Ohio State.
Yes.
Everybody knew those were the best teams, and it comes down to this. So, for all of our pre-game festivities, let's get things rolling here.
Okay.
Everyone, please rise for our invocation.
Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight for all your blessings. You said in all things give thanks. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. My 2 children, Eli and Emma, or as we like to call them, the little E's. Lord, I pray you bless the drivers and use them tonight. May they put on a performance worthy of this great track. In Jesus' name, boogity, 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 amen.
Please remain standing as Carl Lewis presents our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see? And the Rockets, red flag.
Uh-oh.
I'll make up for it now.
No, you won't, Carl.
For the land of the free.
There's the national anthem here before Biden Madness.
And here to perform back home again in Indiana, ladies and gentlemen, Jim Cornelison.
When I dream about the moonlight from a Wabash, then I long for my Indiana.
Oh, man, if the hair isn't
Goosebumps.
standing up on your arm right now,
Absolute goosebumps, Hammer.
you're not even alive if you're not feeling feelings as we head into the championship of Biden Madness. Let's do the starting lineup, Nige. The number 2 seed coming out of the bracket of Biden Madness in-season tournament. When Joe Biden was trying to pander to an all-black church on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, in attendance was Martin Luther King III, his wife, Andrea. It was Andrea's birthday, and that's when Joe Biden thought he would sing happy birthday to her, but he forgot her name.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Violet. Happy birthday to you.
I didn't even give it a try.
What's Velvet?
Just a mumble.
Her name was Andrea, and he called her Velvet, and he tailed off. So that is the number 2 seed in this tournament. It won the 2nd annual Biden Madness bracket. It is taking on the number 1 seed, the champion of the very first Biden Madness tournament. Now, before we play the clip, I want everyone to hear what it sounds like when a Democratic president recites the Declaration of Independence. Here is the late John F. Kennedy.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal,
that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Again, that's, goosebumps, right?
That's a Democratic president reciting the Declaration of Independence.
What an orator.
The number one seed in our tournament, here's Joe Biden trying to recite the Declaration of Independence.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
He could have at least gotten to the word equal. He didn't even make it to equal.
See, I'm going to disagree with you. I'm shocked he got that far.
Okay.
Here's a little mashup of John F. Kennedy and Joe Biden.
We hold these truths to be self-evident.
All men and women created by you know the thing.
I'm surprised he got that far. You're right.
Voting is now live on our Twitter at Hammer and Nigel. Which one do you want to cut down the nets? Happy birthday, Velvet, or you know the thing? You've got 23 hours. The winner will be announced tomorrow as we broadcast live from Sullivan's at the Radiothon. Get your votes in now. It's the finals Biden Madness in-season tournament. Riley Gaines joins us next on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Here's the cool thing about Galaxy Concrete Coatings. Not only did they do an awesome job recoating my old, cracked, decrepit, dirty garage floor, turn it into something brand new, but my good friends at Galaxy Concrete Coatings are stepping up and offering to match donations made to my virtual red kettle up to $1,000 for the Salvation Army. So let's get those donations rolling in before time runs out. You can go to WIBC.com. Just click on the Salvation Army WIBC logo and donate, and Galaxy Concrete will match every donation in my name up to $1,000 in the virtual red kettle. Back to my garage floor. It's 4 times stronger than it ever was. It's so easy to clean. The guys came in within a day, changed it, made it into something beautiful, and they didn't use epoxy. That's the thing. The epoxy is the old standard. This is better. It's polyurea, the new premium standard for coatings. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com. It's not too late. It's not too cold. 751-9070.
Have you saved enough? Do you have a plan for Social Security and taxes in retirement? Hey, Casey Weed of Howard Bailey Financial, where our mission is to help you gain clarity and purpose and elevate meaning in your life through personal and practical financial strategies. That's why we want to give you our Retire with Purpose Toolkit at no cost. In it, you'll find valuable information on minimizing taxes, maximizing Social Security, and building a retirement income you can't outlive. Plus, you'll receive a copy of my book, Job Optional. To get your complimentary toolkit, call or text the keyword INFO 42 to 866-482-9559. That's INFO 42 to 866-482-9559.
Howard Bailey Financial is the official wealth management partner of Notre Dame Athletics. Notre Dame Athletics was compensated for this endorsement and is not a current client of Howard Bailey. For more information, please visit howardbailey.com/ND disclosure. Investment advisory services may be offered through Howard Bailey Securities LLC, a registered investment advisor. Working with Howard Bailey Securities LLC cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from Peterman Brothers.
We're celebrating the season with a special gift for you.
Get up to $5,000 Christmas cash with the purchase of a qualifying heating and cooling system.
Or 0% interest for 36 months.
Celebrate in style and comfort this winter with your new system.
And rest easy knowing we'll provide 5-star service to you with every call.
Don't wait. This deal ends December 31st. Visit PetermanHVAC.com and claim your Christmas cash.
Immerse yourself in premium nationwide coverage, contract-free plans, and always-free activation with Consumer Cellular, now at your local Target. While you're there, check out our newest phone, the Iris Flip. It's all the phone and camera you need, plus it features a user-friendly design, making it the perfect flip phone. From now to December 16th, you can score $10 off when you buy the Consumer Cellular Iris Flip at Target, making it only $39.99. Visit your nearest Target for the full scoop.
If you think quality healthcare is out of reach for your small business, you have more options than you think. Jim Shoemaker can develop a customized plan that makes coverage for your team a reality. Jim understands the challenges of small businesses and can help you save hundreds every month, just like he did for Duvall & Son Garage.
We began working with Jim Shoemaker. He helped secure a great health insurance plan for our company and save us a lot of money.
Call or text today, 317-409-3963. Jim Shoemaker is a MedMutual insurance broker.
Can help save the lives of up to 3 people. Give blood through the American Red Cross to help hospital patients. Visit redcrossblood.org today.
Takes everyone in the community working together to create a brighter future. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Visit liveunited.org to learn how you can help.
Coming up in 2 minutes, John Herrick reports in a new prison cell for Richard Allen. 2 people hurt in a shooting this afternoon, and an Indiana congresswoman wants Congress to stop spending money. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
Time's running out. Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's the White House message to lawmakers on military aid for Ukraine, as the president's proposed package, which also includes Israel and border funding, remains in limbo over Republican demands for changes in border policies.
They keep voting against trying to make the system better. That's not acting in good faith.
White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre calls Republican proposals extreme. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham says the president should be negotiating.
Bottom line is we're urging the president to get involved and fix this problem.
The White House says the president proposed immigration reform on his first day in office. The White House says talks on another humanitarian pause and freeing more hostages in Gaza are ongoing, but not close to a deal. The Biden administration is blaming Iran for a series of strikes targeting commercial ships.
Officials say Houthis based in Yemen firing missiles and drones at ships in the Middle East are being enabled by Iran.
As the National Security Advisor said just the other day, the Houthis are pulling the trigger. Iran is providing the guns.
National Security Council spokesman John Kirby says there is no conclusive evidence Houthis are targeting U.S. Navy ships, but U.S. vessels are responding to the stress calls from commercial ships and will continue to take down missiles and drones perceived as threats. Kirby says the state and defense departments are also strengthening and expanding a 39-member international partnership to secure international waters.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. The University of Nevada now says the 3 people killed and 1 injured in a mass shooting on the Las Vegas campus yesterday were all faculty members. This after law enforcement officials told the Associated Press the gunman was a professor who tried and failed to get a job at the school. He was killed in a shootout with police. For now, the investigation continues and classes are canceled through Friday. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He got what he wanted. Skies mostly clear, 53 degrees downtown. No rain on your radar. Low temps to the mid-40s tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. From one prison to another, John Herrick reports Delphi suspect Richard Allen is getting a new cell.
Allen was at the Westville Correctional Facility in LaPorte County. On Wednesday, though, he was moved more than 200 miles away to the Wabash Valley Correctional Facility in Sullivan County. Allen's prior legal team had argued that the conditions that he was dealing with in Westville were similar to that of a prisoner of war. Investigators say Allen is responsible for the deaths of Abby Williams and Libby German in Delphi back in February of 2017. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
2 people are hurt after a shooting near Lafayette Road this afternoon on the northwest side of Indianapolis. IMPD says a car had been flipped over and 2 people were found shot when they showed up. They're both in stable condition. Police are investigating what happened. City officials have approved a new fee for property owners within the Central Business District. Ryan Hedrick explains.
Former Indianapolis cop Steve Knight tells Wish TV that he worked the downtown district for years.
I don't understand why they're targeting the Mile Square when after the riots, businesses left, and now they're going to penalize them?
City leaders say the fee will raise about $6 million, of which half will be allocated for keeping streets clean and the public safe. Business owners wonder where their tax money is going. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC. Mobile News.
The congressional budget process is a big waste of time, says Indiana Republican Congresswoman Victoria Sparks.
Do a lot of presentations and hearing, but not really looking. And number one functions was given to Congress by we the people.
As the U.S. government slips further into debt, Sparks says the people struggling the most are those in the middle class and people on fixed incomes. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
No more joint pain. It's not necessary to live another year in pain. Call QC Kinetics right now and make 2024 the year you are back to living a normal life again. Tony Katz here, and QC Kinetics can give you your life back. They're the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. All natural treatments that can repair and restore damaged tissue, giving you pain-free movement. QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients around the country. People who had knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, who were able to get lasting relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Make the call right now so you can get the most out of 2024. Got pain from that old injury? Pain from arthritis? Get back to doing what you love. Make that pain go away. And don't forget, you can use your HSA and FSA funds. Get your free consultation with QC Kinetics. 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN. QC Kinetics in Eagle Creek, in Greenwood, and now in Carmel, all with Saturday appointments available. QC Kinetics, 317-559-PAIN.
With traffic on the 5s at 5:05, how are the roads, Matt Bear?
All right, Harrison Fishers. East 96th Street shut down at the ramp to southbound at 69. It's the ramp from southbound at 69. And East 96 is closed in both directions. You cannot make your exit from southbound 69 to 96th Street because of this crash that they are working on right now. Looking at southbound 69, there is stop-and-go traffic from 96th Street down to 82nd. And eastbound 72 downtown is jammed up Holt Road to Tibbs Avenue, then stop and go to Meridian, Illinois. Southwest side, southbound 465 loaded from 70 to the White River. Traffic sponsored by Arizona State University. With ASU Online, you get everything the nation's most innovative university has to offer. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu. That's asuonline.asu.edu. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
A warmer and breezy night under partly cloudy skies is ahead, with lows in the low to mid 40s. And Friday, we're going to boost into the mid to upper 50s with increasing clouds, wind gusts up to 25 to 35 miles per hour. A few showers possible late Friday night. On Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock! Unsafe, unfair, and discriminatory practices towards women must stop. Inclusion cannot be prioritized over safety and fairness. And Ranking Member Lee, if my testimony makes me transphobic, then I believe your opening monologue makes you a misogynist.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special guest on the WIBC hotline.
Just a badass American. That's who's standing by right now. She is the host of the Gains for Girls podcast on Outkick. Riley Gaines joins us. Riley, how are you?
I am doing great. It is good to talk to you guys.
Man, we were loving your testimony, giving them a little taste of their own medicine, a little spirited back and forth. And the thing that Nigel and I were talking about, Riley, was you're 23 years old, I believe. You're not some seasoned politician that's been doing this kind of thing, her whole life. You've got professional agitators up there trying to give you the business, and you gave it right back to them. How good did that feel?
Well, let me tell you, you do not need to be a seasoned politician or a scientist or biologist, as our sitting Supreme Court justice said, who couldn't define what a woman is. You don't have to be those things to understand that men and women are different, and to call out hypocrites, to put it pretty simply. And that's exactly what I was trying to do in that moment. And I think it's what we all need to be doing. Call out hypocrisy when you see it. These people think they're intimidating, especially, members of Congress. They pretend that they're intimidating. And to be fair, I was intimidated of them the first couple times I've testified. But they're not intimidating. They're stupid. Tell them what to say. They don't know what's going on. The Democrats who were part of that hearing deflected from the argument pointed to abortion and the race card and other historical, or I guess other pieces of legislation that have historically painted Republicans as woman haters. I mean, it's utter lunacy. They're tactics for fear-mongering and deflection.
Riley, back up just for a second here. If somebody didn't see it, and we played a bunch of clips yesterday, who were you testifying in front of? Was this some sort of Title IX thing? Was it Congress? Was it the Senate? Who was asking you those questions?
So it was Congress, the U.S. House. It was the Oversight and Accountability Committee. The chairwoman of the committee was Representative McClain from Michigan, who's Republican, and the ranking member was Representative Lee, and that's ultimately the woman I called a misogynist.
Yeah.
And yes, this hearing was surrounding Title IX and urging the Biden administration to uphold the original intent of Title IX, because what they're doing now is rewriting Title IX and equating sex with gender identity. And this is the biggest attack that we have seen on women's sports and really on women as a whole. So that's what the hearing was about.
And then you're back and forth with, she's Representative Lee from, I think she's Pennsylvania, right? You and Pennsylvania have a long history, I believe, of that state and people from that state going back and forth with you. She actually called you transphobic, right? And then you had some words for her right back to her face.
Yes. In her opening monologue, the first thing she says is, "I can't believe I'm forced to sit here and listen to this transphobic bigotry."
Wow.
And in my mind when she said this, I was so caught off guard because, again, the first thing she says, the first thing any Democrat had the opportunity to say in this hearing, and that's what she chooses to say. And so it kind of hit me, my stance, it's not anti-trans. Of course not. My stance on this issue is very much pro-woman. But if being pro-woman is immediately deemed anti-trans, wouldn't it mean that being pro-trans is inherently anti-woman? What do we call someone? What do we call someone who's anti-woman? We call them a misogynist.
Right.
And so that was kind of my line of thinking there. Because what I saw from her, and again, the rest of the Democrats on that hearing for the entire 4 hours, I sat there and was berated by them. They showed a clear and utter disdain, contempt, hatred, it almost seemed, for women.
Chatting with Riley Gaines, who has an awesome podcast on Outkick.com, Gaines for Girls. Definitely worth a listen. Riley, it's crazy. We're still having these conversations, a couple years removed from this whole storyline of biological dudes competing against women. Has it gotten any better over the last couple of years?
Definitely. I would say there's a lot of traction. A lot of people are waking up. I mean, even if you look at, the Gallup polls that have been released in the past year or so, I think the first Gallup poll showed that 62% of the nation agreed that allowing men into women's sports is harmful and not a good idea. And a couple months after that Gallup poll, they released another one where that number was then 70%. And that's only continuing to increase. And you and I both know, both of you, there are very few issues in politics that 70% plus agree. But this is one of those. And so it's just a matter of getting those people in leadership positions to listen, whether that be, of course, the people leading this country, like the Biden administration or U.S. senators, delegates, representatives, both state and federal level, or whether that be specific sport governing bodies, whether that be within institutions, a part of course, academia. We were seeing the direction that's going. It's just a matter of getting them to open their eyes and listen to us. And I think we're reaching that point without a doubt.
Riley, why do you do it? I mean, you didn't have to be there yesterday. You just told us yourself. You subjected yourself to 4 hours of being berated by Democrats who think you're somehow transphobic because you don't like the fact that men are allowed to play in women's sports. You've experienced firsthand with Leah Thomas when you swam for Kentucky. Why do it? Why are you the face of this now?
Because no one else will.
Yeah.
There are very few people who have been willing to take on this burden. And I say burden because it is a burden. Who would voluntarily put themselves in front of AOC for 4 hours. Oh, my gosh. Not me. There are very few people who really, I mean, the vitriol that comes with it. And I was naive when I was waiting initially before I took a stand. I waited for someone else to do it. And again, I was failed by the people who I thought would. Since then, of course, we have had phenomenal people take a stand. Paula Scanlon, she's one who's testified in front of Congress and has done a phenomenal job in communicating why this matters. She's, of course, a teammate of Thomas's, both when Thomas was Will Thomas and now when Thomas is identifying as Leah Thomas. But other than that, I'll tell you, it's few and far between who are willing and able to handle the vitriol that comes with it. But again, that's what they want. That's their tactics. They want to scare people into silence, and for the most part, it works. But once you realize they're really not as scary as they seem, I mean, heck, they went into a tailspin. They basically had to do a factory reset by being called a misogynist. They hate when their own intersectional language is used against them. And to which they then not only was this encounter kind of course, it went viral, but afterwards, a few moments after I called Representative Lee a misogynist, she then tried to get my words removed from the record. I call for grounds of removing her words. She's engaging in personalities, to which there was no ground for
and
that.
She embarrassed herself, and she had to back down from that and withdrew that request, right?
She did. Her attempt to erase history did not work, and the verdict still shows that she is, in fact, a misogynist.
I love it.
Take me through what it's like just a day in your life, Riley. Like, you're out, maybe you're working out. Maybe you're going to the grocery store. Just having a regular day, what people do, and next thing you know, your phone's blowing up. Media Matters is ripping you. Keith Olbermann's ripping you. Like, when you go home and talk to your family, is it just like, no big deal? Or is there a time to vent? Do you get mad? Do you throw stuff? What's it like?
Well, I'll start by saying, gosh, if Keith Olbermann's ripping you, it means you're doing something right.
Damn right. 100%.
Man, it's, I'll tell you, playing sports my whole life, I've kind of developed this skill of being able to compartmentalize. When I was at practice in college, we're there 6 hours every day. And when I was at practice, I was on. I gave it everything I had. But when I left, I didn't think about it. Whether my practice was good, bad, didn't matter. That was the past. I'm trying to be where my feet are. And I'll tell you that skill has transcended into this aspect, this realm as well. When I'm on, I'm on. When I'm not, I'm just me. I'm still being 23. I've got a wonderful husband. I've got 2 dogs. I've got other things going on in my life that I care about, that I'm passionate about, whether that be, family, friends, other things. So, of course, I take this very, was able to turn my brain off and not think about it when I don't need to.
And to be clear, it's not all negative stuff that you get. I mean, when we told our audience you were coming back on our program, the response was amazing. People respond to you. They love you. They appreciate what you're doing, whether it's dads that have daughters play sports, or maybe it's just a listener that appreciates what you're doing. There's so many more people, I feel like, that support you, but might not go onto social media. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my gosh. The support that I've received has been tenfold anything negative, without a doubt. And you're exactly right. Parents who are reaching out to me saying, thank you, my daughter's going through this, a very similar situation, or female athletes themselves thanking me. I had a high school volleyball team the other day. It was really sweet. They all signed a volleyball, University of Kentucky volleyball, which is, of course, where I went to school. They all signed it and sent it to me and just said they're so thankful for what I'm doing. And that's why we fight this. It's, of course, not for me. I'm done competing. It is for that next generation. And it is for the women who fought relentlessly for Title IX, for me to have the opportunities that I had, who now in their same lifetime, they're seeing those opportunities being taken away. That's who we're who at least I'm fighting for. Again, I know I mentioned Paula. That's who she fights for. That's who these amazing women like Sage Steele, Michelle Tafoya, some of the women who worked in this realm previously, that's who they fight for. So it's been overwhelming to receive the support that I had. I'll even tell you very briefly. I was getting on a plane the other day, and I could tell some people were looking at me. I kind of figured they maybe knew who I was, but it was kind of looks. I didn't know if they were supportive, not supportive. But when I got on the plane, I was the last one to board. I was just taking my time. And when I got on the plane, the entire plane started clapping for me. I mean, it was like a movie scene. And these people had told the plane who I was, what I was doing, and every single person on that plane was so appreciative of that.
That's awesome.
Incredible.
Love to hear that. Now, what can we hear on your podcast? Gains for Girls podcast. It's at outkick.com.
So you can expect to hear from policy experts. I just had on my podcast this week, Ted Cruz, Senator Cruz. You can expect to hear from world-leading scientists surrounding, of course, the topic of men and women's sports and the differences between men and women, as if we even need a scientist to explain it to us. You can expect to hear from other people who have been impacted by the cultural issues that seem to be plaguing America. And so it's been a lot of fun to be on the other side of it, not being the person who's interviewed, but being the interviewee. It's kind of fun and certainly something that I believe has been impactful in a lot of people's lives.
Well, Riley, I know you probably didn't have anything to do with it, but you're so damn awesome. We're giving you full credit for getting the IU Kentucky basketball games back on again. You're getting full credit from our audience for getting that back on, Riley.
Finally.
It's all, yeah, no, I take entirely, I take the credit here.
Riley Gaines for Girls podcast. Check it out on Outkick, outkick.com. Riley, have a great Christmas holiday season, and we'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Matt Baer has a look at the roads.
Hammer 96th Street is closed on the northeast side at I-69 at the ramp 2 southbound at 69. That is because of a crash. 96th Street backed up in both directions. Is a mess in that area. Looking at northbound 465 northwest side, stop traffic before 86th Street to 865. And then southbound 65 jammed up MLK to Meridian Pad. Eastbound 70 stop and go Holt Road to the south, a split. Crash Allisonville Road at 79th. Allisonville backed up in both directions. Traffic sponsored by Arizona State University. With ASU Online, you get everything the nation's most innovative university has to offer. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu. That's asuonline.asu.edu. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
55 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, and we got one more pair of tickets to give away to caller number 9 right now. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Gamebridge Fieldhouse, December 26th. Caller number 9, 239-9393. Good luck.
There's something for all you guys, including me, that haven't gotten your special someone a holiday gift yet. This Christmas, Pajamagram.com has your back with a deluxe gift set for her. I mean, I'm talking a one-and-done luxurious present. It includes a satin nightie, a robe, plus a free satin eye mask, all wrapped in an elegant satin keepsake bag.
So that's 4 gifts delivered right under your door, ready to go under the tree. You don't have to do anything other than make the order. Silky, sensuous. They glide over the skin, designed to make her feel like $1 million. And you're going to like the way they look on her, guys. So if you ask me, the Smooth Seduction Satin Gift Set, that right there is your ticket to a very happy holiday. Don't wait. Get it before it sells out. Pajamagram.com. Go there today and get the Smooth Seduction Satin Nightie, robe, eye mask, keepsake bag. That's the Smooth Seduction Satin gift set at Pajamagram.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
So what's a good rate on a CD today? Something like 5%? Yeah, and that's the highest it's been in a long time. Well, you know your retirement guy, Bill Demery, could help you do way better, right? Hey, it's Hammer and Nigel. Instead of getting 5%, What if you could get a much better return? Like a return that's averaged 7% per year for the past 10 years. That's 40% better. Let me say that again, 40% better.
Plus, now check this out. You also get an immediate 13% bonus on your investment. And it's all backed by one of the largest insurers in the world. A 13% bonus and a 7% average return. You should call Bill Demery right now. 317-648-5120. 13% bonus. This won't last long. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, 648-5120. Past performance is no guarantee of future returns.
Indiana Pathways for Aging helps Hoosier Medicaid members age 60 and over get support at no additional cost to live life their way.
Mom's Parkinson's is progressing, and Pathways provides in-home support so she can be with family every day.
Pathways coordinates Medicaid and Medicare services. I'm getting help with meals, personal care, and transportation.
One day, I might choose a nursing home, but today, I have options with Pathways.
The program begins in summer of 2024. Call 87-PATHWAY-4 or visit in.gov/pathways.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Our biggest ever Smith Brothers of Burn sale is going on now. Save 50% off MSRP plus 4 years interest-free financing or an extra 20% off for cash. The best furniture made today, 1,000 fabrics, 100 leathers, made in Indiana, a lifetime warranty. Hurry, sale in Saturday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Brace yourself for the ultimate holiday deal with Consumer Cellular. Snag an incredible 50% off the Iris Flip when you buy before December 17th, making it only $34.50. The Iris Flip is all the phone and camera you need with a user-friendly design, the perfect flip phone companion. Plus, you'll get nationwide coverage and always free activation. Score 50% off when you use promo code RADIO50. Head over to consumercellular.com and use promo code RADIO50 during checkout to score this deal.
The Renegades. Styx. The Jukebox Heroes. Foreigner. With very special guest, John Waite. Friday, July 26th, Ruoff Music Center. Reserve seats on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at LiveNation.com. Styx and Foreigner. The Renegades and Jukebox Heroes Tour.
Life is a collection of moments that last forever, so make them matter and make them count with a symbol of everlasting love. A diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay. Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Oh, yeah! Some chick on social media, some influencer, gaining attention because she has a theory on single dudes in their relationship with their moms. Here it is if you haven't heard it yet. It's this woman on social media, TikTok, if you can believe that, Hammer, explaining her red nails theory.
I know guys are attracted to red nails, and I'll tell you why. It's called the red nails theory. Every time I have red nails, a guy comments on it. And I always thought red nails was like a grandma nail color. I was like, why are they liking red nails? And then it hit me. In the 90s, when we were growing up, women had red nails a lot, especially like our moms. Guys are attracted to red nails because it reminds them of their moms when they were growing up taking care of them, or like some sort of mommy issue with it. I swear to God.
Are you okay with this theory?
Everyone in the room is now dumber for having heard that. No, like, I gotta be honest. I think women overthink nails and eyelashes way too much.
Oh, yeah.
There's not one dude I know that's like, yeah, normally I'd say she's a 6 or a 7, but she had on red nails and now I'm really turned on. Or, maybe if she had a little bit longer eyelashes, I'd be interested in.
And do you remember what kind of nail polish your mom used growing up?
None.
I have no clue.
Zero. I have no idea what color my wife has right now. I have no clue. I could be guessing. She might not have any on. I have no idea. But yeah, this is a weird thing.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that if Kate Upton were wearing red nail polish or purple nail polish, it wouldn't matter. And the same theory holds up for Joy Behar.
Okay. A worker in Baltimore created a fake job offer to try to get a raise at their current job. Follow me here. The current job considered matching, but they contacted the place that allegedly made the offer and found out it was fake, and then they fired the employee. Are you okay with this?
You know what? I am. I appreciate the hustle. I appreciate the effort. So this person thought, you know what? The best way for me to get a raise here is if they think I'm in demand. So he created, let's just say, Vandalay Industries and used that as a fake offer to his current employer and tried to play hardball there. Now, of course, they were going to find out, and this is what happens when morons try to play hardball, but I kind of appreciate the hustle. Like, went out of his way to create not only a fake job, but a fake contract and a fake offer. I'm sure there was a fake phone number where somebody had to act like they were the boss.
Vandalay! Say Vandalay! Vandalay!
And the fact that this took place in Baltimore just goes to show that Baltimore stinks in every way. And here to back up my claim, former Baltimore Mayor Catherine Pugh.
What the hell? We should just take all this down. Ooh, you can smell the rats. Ooh, Jesus.
Oh, smell the rats. I love that her last name is Pugh.
She can smell the rats. Ooh, Jesus.
Okay, customers at one Japanese restaurant are opting to have their food with a side of tough love by paying their waiting staff to slap them in the face. Diners are reportedly flocking in droves. Are you okay with this?
So people are going to this diner in Japan. They get a good meal. And if you tip the waitress 300 yen, which is the equivalent of $2 American, I believe, the waitress smacks the taste out of your mouth. Some dudes, I think, are turned on by it. So whatever floats your boat,
okay.
Yes, I'm okay with this. If you are the kind of guy that wants to be slapped in the face by a waitress, by all means, you should be slapped in the face by a waitress.
Strange customs over there in Japan, but who am I to judge?
They do things a little differently. All right, coming up next, Rob Kendall. He is ready to rip off his shirt like Hulk Hogan used to do and go completely off the rails. We'll talk about that debate. We'll talk about the Indiana governor's race and more. Rob Kendall coming up next. Right now, a look at the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A 200-mile move. Skies mostly clear, 52 degrees downtown. No rain on your radar. Low temperatures drop to the mid-40s later. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:31. Delphi murder suspect Richard Allen had been saying he needed to be moved to a new prison. His request was granted Wednesday. John Herrick reports.
Among other things, Allen argued that he was being abused by the guards at Westville Correctional Facility in LaPorte County. On Wednesday, he was moved from there to the Wabash Valley Correctional Facility in Sullivan County. That's more than 200 miles away. Allen's accused of killing Abby Williams and Libby German in Delphi back in 2017, and his trial is not supposed to start until this upcoming October. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A vehicle was found flipped over on the northwest side of Indianapolis around 2 o'clock this afternoon. IMPD says they found that 2 people were also shot where the car had flipped over, but they're both expected to be okay. Now police are trying to find whoever had the gun. Pleading not guilty. Sasha Nixon reports on former Colt safety Sergio Brown.
Myrtle Brown was found dead in mid-September, and her death was ruled a homicide. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office said she had died from traumatic injuries. The woman had been living with her son, Sergio Brown, at a home in Maywood, Illinois. Brown was later arrested and charged for killing his mother and trying to hide her body, but he is now pleading not guilty. He is expected to appear in court again in January. Sasha Nixon, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and U.K. Foreign Secretary David Cameron say both countries are committed to standing up to Russia and helping Ukraine defend themselves.
Our countries are in lockstep when it comes to continuing to do everything possible to ensure that Putin's aggression remains a strategic defeat and failure for Russia.
Secretary Blinken says the U.S. has provided more than $70 billion worth of help to Ukraine over the past 2 years. Temperatures might get into the 60s in Indiana, but then it cools down heading into next week.
We're going to see a cold front sweep through the area that will bring an end to the precipitation, but also bring our temperatures sharply cooler again. We're not looking at any kind of massive cold snap, really, necessarily.
Joe Neal with the National Weather Service believes highs will hover in the 40s next week with lows down to the 20s at times. Little to no rain is expected. With traffic at 5:33, here's Matt Baer.
All right, here's some bad crash at 96th Street at 969, and right now the ramp from 96 to southbound 69 is closed because of this crash, and 96th Street's a mess in the area, especially in the eastbound lanes approaching the interchange, backed up past Masters. Northbound 69 stop and go traffic. 82nd up to 96 and southbound lanes also stop and go from 96th Street down to 82nd. Crash 75th at Graham. Please avoid the area. Northbound 465 stop and go 86 to 865, and eastbound 70 jammed up after Tibbs Avenue to the south is split. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Show your true love and spoil her with that one special Christmas gift from Pierce Jewelers that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And a forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
A warmer and breezy night under partly cloudy skies is ahead with lows in the low to mid 40s. And Friday, we're going to boost into the mid to upper 50s with increasing clouds, wind gusts up to 25 to 35 miles per hour. A few showers possible late Friday night. On Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on The Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
And now, Hammer and Nigel go off the rails with Rob Kendall.
Noise pollution.
The Hammer and Nigel Show. My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. Also, Rob Kendall from the Kendall and Casey Show. Here to go off the rails. Rob, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks, as always, to our segment sponsor, Garage Doors of Indianapolis.
Rob Kendall watched the debate last night, so you all didn't have to. I tuned in here and there. Look, I thought the third debate was the best of the debates. I'm hearing very good things and very good reviews about this fourth debate. Good reviews about Megyn Kelly and her performance as moderator. Overall thoughts on the debate and what we learned, or did we learn anything last night, Rob?
Well, the debate's better because you only have four people on the stage, and it's.
Are you bashing Doug? Are you anti-Doug, Rob? Because Doug dropped out, and is that why you think this was better?
Doug and Mikey and Asia, or whatever that dude's name was, and I mean, look, when you got all those goobers up there that have no shot to win, and they have no business being up there, they just take up time, and those are the people, oftentimes, who are the most obnoxious because they're trying to be seen because nobody knows who they are. You had four people. They had a spirited back and forth. Their personalities got a chance to show, or in the case of DeSantis, lack thereof. And I thought it was a pretty well done debate.
DeSantis was the weakest of
No, I just think he has. I think you lose who you are when you rise to the level of a Ron DeSantis, because you try to be things, you're a coalition builder, all things to all people. I think the genuine nature of who you are kind of goes away. And I think DeSantis is just kind of a plastic guy.
I love DeSantis, great governor, but the thing that always comes to my mind, and it's neither here nor there, but like, does he always have to smile?
Yeah.
Is that what they always tell these candidates?
It's such an awkward kind of forced smile.
Yeah, they all have to sit there and smile. Just sit there and have a conversation.
And that's what I'm alluding to, is it doesn't come naturally to him. I think the guy's kind of socially awkward. I don't think he's a guy you'd look forward to go out and pounding some brews with.
But what sucks is he's a really good governor.
He is. I agree. He's the most qualified person to be president of the United States on that stage. I thought by substance he won that debate. I don't mean to be disparaging DeSantis, but it doesn't matter. He's a gajillion points behind Trump, and barring some sort of miracle in Iowa that nobody sees coming, there's not even going to be two tickets out of Iowa. There's going to be one, and it's going to be Trump.
What's more likely to happen? A miracle in Iowa for one of these candidates, let's just focus on DeSantis, or something happens with Donald Trump in terms of legal stuff, and he's not running for president?
I think it's out of Iowa because Iowa's a caucus state. It's very different from how every other state votes. It is... a lot of it's based on organization.
Do you think there's any way Donald Trump will have legal issues that will prevent him from running to be the president?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it matters. I think the people would. I mean, he'd do it from prison. I mean, whatever. And he'd win the Republican nomination from prison, absolutely.
Which would be wild.
He could win the presidency from prison. I actually think if Trump were somehow in prison during the election, I think it would work in his favor because, well, one, he wouldn't be able to talk all the time.
Truth Social post would be in the weightlifting yard. Oh, it's going to be lit. It's going to be awesome.
You guys ever watch Arrested Development, show Arrested Development?
He's got to get a Diet Coke in the commissary. But yes, I loved Arrested Development.
Remember when Jeffrey Tambor goes to prison and he's like the running the joint? That would be Donald Trump. Yes, absolutely.
He's got the red "Make America Great Again" bandana on.
How did Nikki Haley do? Again, I tuned in and out, and they were both. They were all three of them were directing their ire towards Nikki Haley because she's doing very well in the polls. How did she perform? I don't like her. I think she's a war hawk. I think she is a pretty much an establishmentarian. How do you think she did?
Well, I think she did the worst. I heard Tony coming in today. I think he agreed with that. She's just so unlikable. And once you narrow the stage to where these people actually have to talk, and then it's the defending themselves. This is where you kind of find out who people are, is how they defend themselves. And she really is a very unlikable person. And when she gets shot at, not literally shot at, but from a verbal standpoint, she comes off as very unlikable because that's who I think she kind of is as a person.
And she doesn't like having her lies called out.
Sure.
Because Ron DeSantis a couple times called her out on her bull crap. His Twitter feed showed the videos where Nikki Haley clearly said that if parents want their children to have sex surgeries, they should be able to do so. Paraphrasing there. But she said that, no, I never said that.
We played it yesterday.
Yeah, the audio exists. We're not stupid. You can find it on the internet in literally 1 minute's time.
Yeah, and so what's interesting is, so if you take Trump out of the equation, this presidential nominating process has played out the way it normally does. And what I mean by that is, if you think about who the also ran to Trump has been, the number two, you've seen various people rise, and then everybody on the stage goes at that person because they want to be number two. That person crumbles. It was DeSantis to start, and then Ramaswamy kind of caught fire for a while, and now it's her turn. And then we're kind of back to DeSantis being the number two because he holds up the best, because while he's not really like a cool guy or a guy you'd want to hang out with, he has a great record as governor. And when you can get past his plastic or his kind of unlikability, you look at his record and you go, pretty darn impressive.
And that's what Nigel and I were talking about yesterday. It sucks that the presidency, the way this country picks the most powerful man in the world, has become American Idol.
Yeah.
Because if it's just based on who's going to do the best job, it's Ron DeSantis. But he doesn't have a wacky catchphrase. There's no "Make America Great Again" hat. There's no hope and change. There's no "I'm with her." None of that's there, but that's how so many people pick the most powerful leader on the planet.
Yeah, you're 100% right. And we're in a soundbite culture and a 24/7 news cycle. And unfortunately for DeSantis, he picked the wrong time in a post-Trump world to run for president. 8 years ago, well, Trump was running 8 years ago, 12 years ago, if he's on that stage, instead of Romney, he's likely becomes the nominee and president of the United States.
What about 4 years from now?
Well, I mean, he's made a lot. You got to wonder how strong the Trump orbit is going to be. Like, if Trump wins the presidency, clearly it will remain very strong. But if he loses again, how long does this coalition last? I think that'll be how people like DeSantis get judged.
How important is Trump's VP pick? Because right now, the person I see on that stage that is a champion of Donald Trump is Ramaswamy. But we were talking to Bill O'Reilly yesterday. He thinks he doesn't like Nikki Haley, but he thinks if Trump was smart, he'd pick Nikki Haley.
By the way, speaking of Bill O'Reilly, think about the guests you guys get. I mean, what a show! You guys are amigos with Bill O'Reilly,
and you're a part of this.
Yes. I mean, I'm on
Today is the day of 1 million great Americans on our program.
I mean, you've got, Riley Gaines was on. You've got Drew Storen and Mark Patrick. I still don't think Drew gives me enough credit for kind of starting him in sports with his broadcasting career. We talked about that.
I take everything back I said about Rob.
What a great show. I mean, God love you guys.
But to Nigel's question, does Donald Trump need a woman on that ticket? Does he need somebody that's a minority, or does it matter?
I think this year it's going to be. I mean, look, if you don't know, to steal a phrase from Joe Biden, if you can't decide between me and Trump, well, I can't finish it because I might get fired. But if you don't know, if you need a vice president to help you make it up, he's going to pick a loyalist. He's going to probably pick a woman. That would probably be very wise of him.
Nikki Haley, Kristi Noem are the two names we hear a lot.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Laura Loomer. Who knows?
Wow, there's something else I've noticed just real quick. I haven't noticed a lot of media coverage concerning Donald Trump being in courtrooms, taking the stands, and I think that's because I want to get your take. I think the media wants Donald Trump to run against Biden. And the more the media concentrates on Donald Trump, the more they make him into a martyr right now with all these ridiculous indictments.
Yeah, the prosecutors are helping Trump because people look at like the documents thing and they're like, really, Biden gets to go free and Trump's on trial for his life? Or they look at the thing in New York with Stormy Daniels and they're like, really, the guy gave money to a porn star and you're trying to put him in prison? I mean, people look at this and say it is not just one rogue prosecutor, it's a coordinated effort to get this guy.
And it's not balanced, right?
Right, exactly.
If you want to go after Donald Trump for sexual things, then you damn well better open up this list of whoever Jeffrey Epstein flew down to that island.
Right, and so I think the media has kind of recognized, hey, not only did this not hurt him.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what Trump is. It was like, remember when the whole thing with Stormy Daniels came out and they were like, oh my gosh, we got him, even before he was charged criminally with this stuff. It was like, really? You think people are going to learn that Donald Trump gave money to a porn star and they're going to go, oh, I'm so shocked Donald Trump would be having extramarital affairs?
Can you stick around for one more break?
Absolutely anything for you guys.
We're going off the rails with Rob Kendall. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Have you saved enough? Do you have a plan for Social Security and taxes in retirement? Hey, Casey Weed of Howard Bailey Financial, where our mission is to help you gain clarity and purpose and elevate meaning in your life through personal and practical financial strategies. That's why we want to give you our Retire with Purpose toolkit at no cost. In it, you'll find valuable information on minimizing taxes, maximizing Social Security, and building a retirement income you can't outlive. Plus, you'll receive a copy of my book, Job Optional. To get your complimentary toolkit, call or text the keyword INFO 42 to 866-482-9559. That's INFO 42 to 866-482-9559.
Howard Bailey Financial is the official wealth management partner of Notre Dame Athletics. Notre Dame Athletics was compensated for this endorsement and is not a current client of Howard Bailey. For more information, please visit howardbailey.com/ND disclosure. Investment advisory services may be offered through Howard Bailey Securities LLC, a registered investment advisor. Working with Howard Bailey Securities LLC cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
Going to make those holidays magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct, whether it's a pair of diamond stud earrings. Maybe you're thinking about making a holiday engagement, a proposal of some sort. Maybe you're looking for that perfect ring, fabulous Swiss timepiece. At Diamonds Direct, they have the perfect gifts for the season, starting at around $300.
The experts at Diamonds Direct, inside that beautiful showroom right there at Keystone at the Crossing by the Green Bridge, they will help you out. So if you're not somebody that's real jewelry savvy, but you want to get that headliner gift, that home run gift for the holidays, let their experts help you. They will make sure you get the biggest bang for your buck, you get options, and take advantage of their low prices and their amazing warranties. Special financing is available. Check it out online at diamondsdirect.com or stop by the showroom, Diamonds Direct. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros. We recently saved a 50-year-old couple over $300 per month when compared to their old individual plan. We recently saved a family of 4 over $400 per month when compared to their quote on healthcare.gov. We are now entering the crazy enrollment season when our federal government will spend millions telling us that healthcare.gov is our only good option for quality health care. Whether it's called healthcare.gov, Affordable Care Act, or it's still Obamacare. Don't let the federal government or their big insurance company cronies tell you that you don't have a choice. Give us a call at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. That's 317-563-0868 or rragency.org. If you don't call us, we can't help you. Quoting the great Dr. Duke Tomato, Lord, please help our cults. And as always, God bless America, or at least what's left of her.
If you think quality healthcare is out of reach for your small business, you have more options than you think. Jim Shoemaker can develop a customized plan that makes coverage for your team a reality. Jim understands the challenges of small businesses and can help you save hundreds every month, just like he did for Duvall & Son Garage.
We began working with Jim Shoemaker. He helped secure a great health insurance plan for our company and save us a lot of money.
Call or text today, 317-409-3963. Jim Shoemaker is a MedMutual insurance broker.
Turn to the experts at Howald Heating and Carrier for all your heating needs. Howald Heating, Air, and Plumbing, where coming home never felt so good. Online at howaldheatingandair.com.
Start saving with Comcast Business Mobile, all on the most reliable 5G network. Most reliable based on RootMetrics US report. Results vary. Not an endorsement.
Matt Bear has a look at the roads.
All right, Hammer Fishers, if you can stay clear of 96th Street at I-69, especially the southbound ramp, you are still working with a crash here. The eastbound lanes of 96th Street are stopped from 69 past Masters Road. Hearing from Fishers Police that a reconstruction team has been called in. They are expecting significant delays, and if you can stay clear of the area, that would be great. Looking at northbound 69, slow roll from 82nd Street up to 96. Eastbound 465, stop and go from Westfield Boulevard over to the White River. On the southwest side, southbound 465, full house from 70 over to the White River, and then inbound 65 jammed up from MLK to Meridian Bend. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Show your true love and spoil her with that one special Christmas gift from Pierce Jewelers that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
52 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC. Back with Rob Kendall of the Kendall and Casey Show. We are going off the rails here on the Hammer and Nigel Show. So, Rob, recently, Suzanne Crouch.
Old silent.
What do you call her again?
Old silent Suzanne.
And why is that?
Because she's been totally silent for the past 7 years as Eric Holcomb has raised the taxes and had the meet and greets with Malik Muhammad and tried to put you in jail for a mask. And, well, you know the list. It's
Lieutenant Governor.
Yes, Lieutenant Governor.
Silent.
Yes.
She is now running to be the governor, and she laid out her plan on her website, a lot of new updated material. It's going to eliminate a lot of taxes. She's talking about giving some of the surplus back to the people of Indiana.
State income tax and all stuff I like, quite frankly, Rob.
Yes.
You seem skeptical, Rob.
I mean, that's all stuff I'm for.
Yeah. So we're led to believe that a woman who has
His face is getting red right now.
I mean, she's just highly fraudulent. Look, all these people running for governor are on their own way, shape, or form highly fraudulent, but she may be the most egregious of all because she has been a champion for 7 years of high taxes, record government spending, record growth of government, and now we're led to believe, after you've championed the exact opposite for 7 years, that you've now somehow found the strength of 10 conservatives plus 2, and you're going to be axing government, you're going to be axing taxes. It's totally disingenuous, and she's a liar.
And as we talked about yesterday, like there are too many people that don't like her for various reasons, right? There are the people like you, Rob, that feel like, wait a minute, you were silent for so long, I don't want to listen to you. But then there's the establishment butt sniffers who don't want to have their paychecks taken away in any way with all the kickbacks and things that they've done to get this, quote, surplus at the state of Indiana. So nobody's going to vote for her.
Well, and think about, so let's talk about the surplus for a second. They being the Indiana General Assembly, literally changed the law to keep you from getting money from the surplus.
Your money.
They changed the law because you were going to get your money back, and they said, oh, no, we screwed up 1 year and couldn't spend the money fast enough. So they changed the threshold and then spent down the surplus right to that threshold and go, what do you know? We would have loved to have given you your money back, but it just didn't work out this year. Did she say a word about that? No, of course not, because she doesn't actually mean it. She is a big government, big tax, big spend Republican.
And this is why your pal Micah Beckwith is doing what he's doing and running for that position with the delegates, right?
Yeah, what Micah Beckwith is doing is one of the most important things to ever happen in this state, because if Micah Beckwith is the lieutenant governor nominee and wins that convention, you will have a legitimate independent check and balance on whoever the governor is. And we need that, because none of these people running for governor right now are actually serious about you and helping you and your family.
Special thanks to
Garage Doors of Indianapolis.
He's off the rails. He's Rob Kendall. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. Big Nige.
What's going down?
Did you hear that Bill Demery, our retirement guy, is helping Indy residents add an extra 13% bonus on top of their retirement savings?
I heard something about this. So like every $100 gets an extra $13 more?
Yep.